Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome in. We are live here at Brother Roberts Field on what is a gorgeous day for baseball. The wind has just picked up, but it is pretty much a gorgeous day for baseball, mid-70s, and we are moments away from first pitch between your Beverly Panthers and the Andover Golden Warriors. Dominic Lorenzano alongside Al Visnick and Rich Francis bringing you the action today. The Panthers. I feel like it's been a bit since I did one. I think you guys did one without me, but, it's been a lot of rain. Beverly's going to have to play 3 straight games here to make up for those lost games. And right now the Panthers on a bit of a schneid right now. They've lost 3 straight, trying to get right against a tough 5-1 Andover team. Al, I'll start with you. Some things that the Panthers are going to have to improve on here today if they want to snap the 3-game skid.
It's like we talked about the first game of the season, myself, you, and Rich, about that Beverly is going to need to hit the baseball to be successful this year. Case in point, the last ball game against Peabody, 4-2 loss, tough loss, but 3 unearned runs and not giving themselves enough cushion to make those errors with the offensive output. So swinging the bat is going to be crucial. They have been getting good pitching, and I think at least the first time for me today, we're going to be seeing Maverick Janest on the bump for Beverly.
Mm-hmm. And Rich, I'll go to
Coach Tom Donovan, who's actually sitting right next to us. He said he talked with Maverick just earlier today, and Maverick's got a few pitches, including a cutter. So we'll see what happens. And you mentioned, Dom, 3 games in a row, so kind of all hands on deck these next 3 days. Andover is in the second of their 3 in a row as well. Mm-hmm. They played Lawrence yesterday.
Indeed. So stepping in here is Chris Jaliot, who's going to be in right field and leads things off. And, guys, if anyone from Andover is watching, do not blame us for any mispronunciations. Yes. We really just have your coach's handwriting. And we got a little stat thing off Max Preps.
Yes.
When it came to the coach's writing, I thought it was a T. And then I looked at the Max Preps roster, and it's J.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with the Max Preps one.
And
both are unreliable.
And with the 2 L's next to each other, if it looks kind of like a French name, it could be Jail. So we're not really sure. And again, folks, as Dom said, we're petitioning the MIAA to give us phonetic spellings, but that hasn't happened yet.
We've formally named the proposal the Francis proposal, and it's in front of the MIAA at their next annual meeting.
Yeah. And so they're trying to get the scoreboard working over there, but I believe it's a 1 and 2 count.
Mm-hmm. Janest works from the stretch exclusively, winds and
nice
fires, and that one misses for ball 4.
Okay, so that was a 3 and 1 count, not a 2.
I think it was 4 straight balls.
Was it? Okay, I thought one of those pitches was...
So a leadoff walk, and now the DH, Napolitano, is the man stepping in. The lineup, Janest will face Napolitano, as we mentioned, now hitting second. Will Norris, the center fielder. Ryan Jaliot, we'll go with that, the catcher. Alex Berman, the third baseman. Drew Pulsifer, who is at second. The bottom of the lineup, Steven Lambo, the shortstop. Nick Isley, the left fielder. And rounding out the lineup is Chris Trapp. It's an Andover team that, again, according to our Max Prep stats, has hit the ball pretty well, hitting about 259 as a squad.
Okay, I believe that was a strike.
I believe so. Apologize, folks. Beverly High School has replaced their windscreen, and it has a little more height than the old one, so making things a little bit difficult for your crack-jack announcing crew here on the top of the hill.
So we do have 2 cameras. We've got a center field cam and a behind backstop cam. So people watching at home may actually have a better view than we do at times.
Right now, I believe Janest has fallen behind now 2-1 after that one missed high and away.
And he's doing a nice job of keeping Giallo, or however we're going to pronounce his name, close. He has a good-sized lead over there. Cal McKay holding him on.
We'll call him the runner. For now.
These 2 might be
number 24.
These two might be twins also, as they both have the same last name and both listed as seniors.
Okay.
On the Max Preps one. So.
And again, as we've
slide by Janest.
Where did that go?
And he gets that one by him there.
Max Preps is not always accurate, so whatever we give you, you have to take with a grain of salt. But I will give both coaches credit for filling out the Max Preps statistics.
All right, I believe it's a 2-2 count.
He's
Winds
going.
and fires. There goes the guy. It's a high fastball. It's a good pitch to throw on.
Goes in the center field.
But that one kind of skipped by Reyes and trickles into center field, so it'll be a stolen base for Chris.
Yeah, he got a decent jump on that, too.
Yeah, Teddy Fisher got rid of that ball quick, but he did have that. I'd say he stole that one off the pitcher. So we got a full count, man, on second. Beverly trying to make sure that they don't give up anything early here.
Strong wind, as you can see the flag out there. So you're going to have to run out every fly ball, that's for sure.
Swung on and hit in the air into center field. That one's falling fast, and that's going to fall in front of the right fielder. Has a little trouble with it, but they will keep Chris there. The ball continues to bounce away. Napolitano will take second, and it's quite the start for Andover.
It's good base running by Napolitano there.
You know, I thought that ball was going to carry a little bit better, and I thought an outfielder would be able to get to it, but it was nice timing, as you mentioned, the wind sort of swirling all over the place. Now it looks like it's blowing out, but honestly, literally just minutes ago, it was not blowing in that direction.
Left to right. I thought McManus was going to be able to get to it, but it dropped way ahead of him.
Exactly.
Okay, so now we got second and third. Corners are in.
Yeah, unfortunately that relay got scuffed around a little bit there, like you said. I actually thought the coach was going to send him home on that.
Yeah, he kind of held up in that bobble.
Will Norris,
McManus
high
will
fly
get
into
that.
center field. McManus is under it. That should be plenty deep enough. It is, and Andover will strike first here on the sacrifice fly by Will Norris. That one struck pretty well by Will, but pretty much right at Micah. And Napolitano stays at second as well. And yeah, he probably could have sent him before, but you know, nobody out. That's why you don't.
Yeah, he didn't want to make the first out at home plate, absolutely.
You got some good hitters behind you. Why mess it up?
Yeah, I was just watching where he was when the relay, when the ball got boxed around a little bit. That's why.
So this is the catcher, Ryan. What are we going to go with? Jeliot?
Sure. I'm going with Jayo.
Jayo? I said it more Italian.
I'm going to let you keep.
I said it more Italian than French, didn't I?
I'm going to let you go.
I wonder why I said that.
I'm going to let you butcher it. I'll just say the batter, the runner.
That's okay, Rich.
I'm going to have to
So
go.
is the responsibility of play-by-play.
Right, the play-by-play guy's got to get the names better.
I'm going to have to go to my...
Swung on and slashed over. The first baseman's going to get over and make the catch. And there's the second out of the inning.
I'm going to have to go to my Andover source in between innings and see if I can get some help first.
All right, 2 away now, and Alex Berman, the third baseman, standing in.
Not to be confused with Alex Bregman.
Right.
I know. With that coach's handwriting and stuff, I honestly thought it was Bregman when I was first looking at it. I was like, no way.
Although Alex hits from the left-hand side.
Maverick winds and fires, and
Like
when
an
he's
off-speed
missing, he
stretch, didn't it?
continues to miss sort of up and away. And, yeah, that did look like something off speed. Alex swung on and fouls it back.
Yeah, we got a track meet going on right here, so everybody out there is going to be on their toes. If you're not running or throwing, you better be watching.
What happens if, like, you're actually running an actual competing event and a ball, like,
That's a
hits
good
you?
question. You got the lead, you're going to win
that's
the
not
race,
fair.
and you get hit by a ball.
Natural causes.
Swing and a miss. It doesn't even have to hit you. If it falls somewhere close or right in front of you, at least could break your stride, and then...
Yeah, especially you can see they got the hurdles set up there. That could really cause a kid to trip over a hurdle or whatever.
I don't mean to laugh, but I'm sorry. That image in my mind now is just... thought that was the pop of the fastball.
It's something that you'd see in a John Cusack.
Is that a Beverly young lady with a huge lead there?
As long as she doesn't get hit by a foul ball, she should win this.
This is awful. All right, Janest, one strike away from getting out of this with just the one run allowed.
Nice
It looks like a
Nice
breaking ball hit on the ground over to second.
Pierce.
Pierce makes the play, and a nice job by Maverick after a disastrous start to the inning to get out of this with only giving up the one run on the sacrifice fly, because that could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, that was a nice job coming out of that. You walk the first guy, and, as we often say, walks will kill you in the high school level. And you walk that leadoff guy, there's a good chance he's going to score, which he did, but, you mitigate the damage after that.
I think you can say that at every level.
I know.
It's that leadoff walk stuff. I had him for 18 pitches. What did you have?
Yes. Exactly. But I think more likely you're going to see that leadoff guy score in a high school game than the higher levels.
Mm-hmm. And
when I listen to Sean McDonough, he always says.
And guys, so we have no cross-reference help on this one, so this is only Coach's handwriting. I have it as Owen Core, the man who's starting today.
Okay.
And we're wondering if maybe he's a call-up from Andover from the JV, as he's not listed on the Max Prep stats. I don't know if Andover is in a similar position as Beverly, if they've had a bunch of rainouts.
They did well. Again, they played yesterday, they played today and tomorrow. So
exactly, so they are in the same position.
Yeah, so you really have to bring kids up from the JV level. There are probably kids on the roster who this might be their first varsity experience.
Mm-hmm. This is a very, very low leg kick, just short arm delivery from Owen Core. The Beverly lineup that will face him leading off is Danny Pierce, Cal McKay, then Colby McLean batting third in the fourth spot. Teddy Fisher, who now you told me he's taken over the catching duties as of last game?
Well, this is only our third home game, so the game that Tom and I covered against Peabody, he was the starting catcher. Yes.
Connor Conley batting fifth, sixth, a call-up for the Panthers as well. Peter Carnazio, Jonathan Reyes, Micah McManus, and Adam Porcello rounding out the lineup that will face Owen Core here today.
Coach Cahill tells me it's Porcello, by the way.
Porcello, that's
Porcello.
right. Porcello.
Well, that's how you spell cello, C-E-L-L-O.
That's true.
Not that I haven't played it.
Give you an opportunity to
It's also how you spelled Rick Porcello.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
but
good point, Don.
But it's a porcini mushroom. Al mentioned the cello. Gives you a chance to reference one of your favorites, Yo-Yo Ma.
Danny Pierce steps in, leadoff batter, ex-Little League White Sox.
Danny Pierce, the three-sport star here at Beverly.
Although he didn't have much opportunity to play basketball this winter because of that turf toe injury that he had.
Yeah, well, the too many sports thing did pay bad dividends for him this year in the basketball season.
I bumped into his mom and dad, Kenny and Caroline, and their walk through the neighborhood on Sunday, and they passed along how enthusiastic they are about the BevCam productions of all of the sports. So everybody should be happy about that. As you say, Dom, they've probably heard you, and Rich has heard you say Kenny's name more times than they called him late for dinner.
I don't think I was doing football, actually, when Kenny was playing, though.
Oh, you didn't know that?
That's a lot.
Didn't he tell you this past year? I thought he was the quarterback this year, no?
Oh, Danny.
Danny, not Kenny.
Oh, did I say?
Yeah, you said Kenny.
Oh, that's the dad.
I thought he had a brother or something.
He did have a brother, Kenny.
He has, and his dad's also Kenny.
Okay.
All right, so a leadoff walk there as Pierce ends up on first base.
Okay, let's see, Rich, if that comes back to bite the Golden Warriors, the leadoff walk.
I will tell you right now, Owen Core's delivery is pretty quick.
Yeah, there's no leg kick at all.
No.
Although we have not seen his move, so.
Yeah. Cal McKay, the lefty, batting in the 2 spot.
like a little breaking ball. Danny, a late break, and I don't know.
Delayed steal, I believe.
Yeah, it was a delayed steal, yeah.
Catcher might have had problems fully gaining control of that breaking ball on the outer half, and never really even attempted a throw. So Danny's going to steal second.
Right.
I don't know there was too much movement with him going. I think he might have just caught him off
Well, it was a
guard.
breaking ball, too. Yeah. So now you get the runner in scoring position here. Beverly looking to try to do the same thing that happened to them. Ball's outside.
That one missing as well, and right now Owen having some problems finding the strike zone. 2-1 on McKay. And again, it's max preps, so we don't know exactly, but one of the guys who at least has been doing some hitting, it seems like so far, for the Panthers is McKay, and a big cut and a miss there. That one that was on the outer half and a little elevated.
All right, so we've got some more hurdles going on here to our left. Looks like a Beverly kid might have the lead here again. Actually, no. Well, we'll try to give you some updates on the track. Coach Dunleavy likes it when we talk about that. Breaking ball down.
Yeah, there's a lot of heats. It's hard to know which is JV, which is varsity.
And it's not like they have names on the back of their shirts, so we can't really tell you who did what. But
and it looks like it's a tri-meet. Does it look like there's 3 teams
yeah, it does
over
look
there,
that
Rich,
way.
or is it a quad meet? I see at least 3 different jerseys over there.
Yeah.
All right, the full count.
Oh,
Swung
nice
on and
rip.
lashed in the right field. The
That's
right
gonna
fielder's
be
going back.
over
He's
his
going
head.
back over his head. One hops into the wall. That's going to be a
McKay's on
run
his
for
wings.
sure. McKay's in
gonna
the
hold up his
second.
second. Run's going to score.
Run will score easily, and Beverly, just 2 batters in, responds.
Cal put
To
a
the
charge
Golden
into that
Warriors.
one, that's for
He,
sure.
he did indeed.
Pierce had to make sure the right fielder wasn't going to catch it, but then once he noticed, he could kind of ease his way on the way home. I thought Cal was thinking about third base there in a second. He got out of the box and he was taking off.
Yeah, it did go 1 hop to the fence, so good aggressive base running, picked up his coach, put the brakes on him.
Yep.
And they, as we like to say, traded places. Let's see if we can trade places again and get the lead here.
Colby McLean, the DH today, and he looks at one that, did that miss? I guess
I think
it
so.
did.
I think it was a little high.
A little high. So Owen falling behind another hitter right there. And Al, when you're on the schneid the way the Panthers are right now, particularly if the offense is struggling, what a relief that has to be. Just 2 batters in, a big extra base hit too as well. It's not like it was something just given. Just
Absolutely.
That's got to at least just let everyone have an exhale real quick. Especially after giving up a run in the top of the first as well.
Yeah, and against Peabody, Beverly was the victim of 9 strikeouts, 5 of them looking. So I'm sure it's want to be aggressive with the
One
bat.
on, he fights that one off down the line. That drops it. Oh, no, it doesn't. Hard for me to see that chalk line from here. The fence and dugout is sort of in my way right down that line. So.
I would say he did an excellent job of pulling his hands in on that inside pitch, though.
He did.
Yeah. Third baseman's playing back. In many cases, you might see a guy drop a bunt, but McLean's got some pop, so.
I don't know. Number 3 batter, first inning?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know about that.
I'm just relaying what Tommy's saying next to me. Tommy was a crafty coach back in the day.
Swung on hard, ground ball over to third. Third baseman has it up and throws.
Quite an arm.
I know. He made that look very easy. So that means
you Coach, excuse me, guys. Coach, you would have bunted your number 3 batter in the first inning?
Ah, okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
fake bunt steal.
I read Tommy's hand gestures.
All right, I feel better now.
He was back deep. Teddy Fisher, the catcher, now standing in with McKay still at second and 1 away. Breaking ball in for a strike. Owen really just kind of feels like he features a fastball and that hard sort of slider.
Keep the hands back. And just drive it.
Yeah, there's a huge 5-6 hole if he takes something outside the other way.
Yep.
With the shortstop holding him on. and he's working him away. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we really haven't seen that breaking ball inside on the batters.
Mm-mm.
It's like he's trying to grab that outside corner.
Swung on and fouled back towards us. Actually, a little bit more towards the track, but well shy of it. No one's getting hit yet.
Hey, guys, I just want to give you a heads up. This screen is damaged. Coach Donovan
That's a good way of putting it.
Coach Donovan and I had one under our chair. There had to be 5 balls that came up here. We're under siege. More than I've seen in the last 3 years. We're in the first 3 innings against Peabody. A car got hit right behind me.
Swung on that one, hit hard back up the middle into center field. They're going to send him. I think he's going to score. Yep. He is. That ball's going to be cut off, but off the pitcher's glove, so it's going to be easy for Fisher to get in the second. And the Panthers now with a 2-1 lead here in the first.
There was no way that they were going to get Cal. Cal got a great jump, and he runs extremely well. Extremely well, and let's give the heads-up base runner Teddy Fisher saw the throw go into the middle of the diamond, and he immediately took off his second base and advanced on that. So nice job all around, and I got what I asked for. They traded places again. Let's see if we can do it again. So 2 in, 1 out, and this is Connor Conley.
Conley's bat looks like a Ticonderoga pencil.
Ooh, up and in near the face. Looked like Connor was waiting for that thing to break, and it never did.
Yeah, I've been noticing a lot of new crafty paint jobs on the bats, and that is a pencil, for sure.
That's funny. I like that. Swung on and fouled back.
Is that lack of a net you were talking about?
That's just what I was talking about. Dom, you're going to have to protect Beth on any foul balls on camera.
Person. Yeah, I got you.
I'm going to get it. There he is right there.
I didn't bring my glove this time, though. That's okay. I don't need it.
Connor's got a big gap on the right side there.
He used that right center field gap to his advantage against Peabody. He clubbed a big double to the gap there to bring the Panthers within 1 the other day.
Look at that, Tommy with the hustle.
Tommy point.
Tommy point. That ball's up and away.
And Owen continuing to struggle with falling behind the Panther hitters, which has certainly rendered itself to why the Panthers have made such solid contact here. It's so much easier hitting Al when you're in the driver's seat like that.
Absolutely.
There's nothing like knowing that you can just forget about a certain side of the plate if you don't want to swing there at anything there in a certain pitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
High again, and that is ball 4 to Connolly. It'll be first and second with still only 1 out.
And you can do that too, right? You take the walk. Beverly.
I think we're going to have a mound trip from the Andover manager.
Okay, so they've cleared the hurdles.
He's doing some pointing. This might be the
That's it.
end of the afternoon. I'm not sure.
Could be.
Unless he was pointing the umpire to make sure that he called time.
Yeah, but he's just talking mechanics here, it looks like.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, I would be shocked if they would go to the pen here. I mean, it kind of seems like you reach a point if you're going to have 3 straight games that he's got to give you something. He's got to give you a few innings at least.
Yeah. So,
you know?
Well, you know, it looked like he was talking a little mechanics there, but could have also been something, you know, just instructional in the sense that don't worry if they hit the ball. You got good defenders out there or whatever. Because it does kind of seem like he's nibbling a little.
Hey, our astute spotter, the coach, Tom Donovan, has let us know that Beverly has exercised its option for the courtesy runner for the catcher.
Okay.
I can't tell who that is. That might be Charles Salerno, perhaps.
Actually, Salerno is not here.
He was on the roster for today's scorecard.
No, according to Coach, he's down in the DECA competition.
Hence not being in left field.
Right.
So I'm not sure who is running. What is DECA? We'll be with you in just a minute, Dom. We'll give you an explanation of that.
Yeah,
Once we watch the first, we believe, varsity at bat of Peter Cornazzo. Peter up here playing left field in place of Charles Salerno. Inside out swing there.
Heads up over there, folks.
Ooh, that was the closest one yet.
I believe that's Swampscott. Is one of those teams.
I love that. Swampscott. Not Swampscott.
No,
Swampscott.
Swampscott. Right, Tommy?
Yeah.
Swampscott.
Swampscott? How do you pronounce it? Swampscott?
Oh,
No,
come on.
No, you don't.
I thought it was Swampscott.
I
We'll actually say it 3 different ways during a game. Just like you said, Peabody.
Peabody.
Peabody?
B-I-D-Y.
The Biddy. You know, you had mentioned Jay Bellew a while ago. He's a Peabody guy.
Jay bleeds Tanner blue, from what I recall.
Yep.
It's been the bone of contention at times.
Yeah, well, you know, his kids are, Panthers, but he's the Tanner guy. So said he's got to come up with a design, the Tanther, where it's a panther with the bullhorns.
He likes that combination thing, like the Cal's drone. The drone to deliver your calzones.
The Cal drone, that's right.
I think he called that a strike.
Yes.
On the outside corner.
I think he did.
Still,
it's hard to tell, though.
Jay's still trying to get a minor league team to come down with the Seaside Ballpark here in Beverly, the Seals. The Beverly Seals.
No. Just no.
Dom is just dead against the Beverly Seals.
I am. And I loved the Seal. I did, but too far. And he gets Carnazio.
Oh. Okay, so there was a runner on first, so
yeah.
it didn't matter, but they could have got the runner on first.
Which they almost did.
I think
diving back in.
I think Peter screwed up his own teammate a little bit.
Right, yeah.
He started running down there.
So those of you new to the rules of baseball, with less than 2 outs and first base occupied, the runner cannot try to take first base on a ball in the dirt. So with first base being occupied, there was nowhere for him to go, but he did run to cause some confusion. Brings up J-Ray, I think, isn't it?
Yes. Jonathan Reyes now. Panthers in front already 2-1. Jonathan trying to see if he can just steal one more for Beverly here with 2 outs and 2 on.
And I already have a 30-pitch inning for the Andover starter.
Yeah, he has really had to labor. There is no doubt about it.
There is some bullpen action right now. Don't know who that is, but he just finished his warm-ups.
That's a big curveball.
That's the best one he's thrown, actually.
That moved about 1.5 feet.
That was a big league breaking ball.
Dom, have you figured out who this kid throws like?
I have, but I forget the guy's name. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. It's very unfortunate.
You've seen this motion before.
Yes.
It's in the data bank. It's not coming out.
It's in the data bank.
It's being processed right now as we speak.
If I wasn't calling a game, I'm sure I could come up with it, but there's just too many things going on right now.
Well, maybe take a picture and you can look at it during between innings.
There you go.
All right. Winds and fires and a swing and a miss there from Reyes. I believe that takes the count to 2-2.
I think you're looking at, when he comes to the set, his posture. That does remind me of somebody, too.
I know, I'm thinking that, too.
Breaking ball swung on and flied in the center field.
drop.
Center fielder's coming on. That's going to drop.
Send the runner,
This
the
could be
throw
a play
home.
at the plate with a good throw,
Goes
but it's
off.
up the line. And Reyes, a 2-out RBI single, and it's 3-1 Beverly.
Great job of hitting by Johnny Reyes, and a great job. I didn't catch the number. Maybe who was the pinch runner? I don't think we ever found out.
Right.
No, we didn't.
But that was the strategy paying off there. Whoever was in there as the runner for Teddy Fisher with 2 outs, Coach Cahill was not going to stop him. The windmill was going, that's for sure.
Also, good base running by Connolly there, getting himself on third base when he saw that throw going through.
And that'll put a runner on third base with Micah McManus, the center fielder, one of the tri-captains, stepping to the dish.
Yeah,
First
so
and third.
First and third here. That's a strike.
One of the more beautiful feelings in baseball I've always felt, that when you steal that last run on a 2-out RBI hit.
Yeah.
Something about those 2-out RBIs just feels so clutch. It feels so good.
And the Panthers in need of confidence, and that'll do it for you.
Yep.
Yeah,
There he
runner's
goes,
gonna go,
and the
catcher.
catcher's not even going to attempt it with the man at third base.
And wouldn't 2 more be nice here, Dom?
It would.
Turn that 3 into a 5. Adam Porcello is on deck, the 9th batter. Micah, the 8th of the inning.
That one in for a strike. Second and third, 3-1 game already. Panthers swung on in last foul, so they will do it again here. An RBI double by McKay, an RBI hit for Fisher, and then a 2-out RBI hit by Reyes are how the men score. That one missing up and away, and I believe it'll be a full count now on McManus.
And it all started with that walk by Danny Pierce.
39 pitches ago. Number 40 about to be delivered. It's the second time that the Andover righty has taken a little bit more time than the Beverly batter would like. Timeout there called.
That one missing high, and I was wrong though. It was 2-2, so now it'll be 3-2.
The wind's still blowing out there. Quite picturesque, by the way, with the flag blowing that way.
Full count offering from Core. Ball 4 outside, and that will load the bases for the number 9 man, Adam Porcello.
Good co-op there.
Yes.
For Mike McManus. And Dom, as you pointed out here, with games coming fast and furious for the Golden Warriors, they're forced to stick at least through the first inning.
That seems to be Andover's thought process here, and it is understandable. Non-league game for them, obviously. Probably caring more about the league games coming up after.
Matter. But, you know, this is also a Division I game, too. So.
That is true.
So this will be big for Beverly. The power rankings aren't out yet, but in the Globe Top 20.
Actually, they are. They were out today.
Oh, they were? Andover sits number 17 in the Globe.
Okay.
Did you check to see where things stand, Rich?
Andover, I believe, was 15. Beverly was 30. So I wrote it down, but I forgot to bring it with me.
So this is going to be good for Beverly in terms of playing a strong opponent.
Yeah.
And it'll be that number of their opponent and run differential, the two metrics that put it together. So just having Andover on the schedule will boost things up. And if we can get a run differential at the end of the day, even better.
He gave him that strike. 2-1.
Andover is ranked 15. And Beverly ranked 39. So the Panthers sitting outside the spot they need to be in.
Core, one more ball away from walking in a run and turning the lineup over, and that's just what he did.
I think the last pitch was a
Oh, he did call that a strike too? Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Not yet.
No, not that one. The pitch before he
No,
did.
I know, but I know you meant. I knew that one wasn't. But he gave him the other one too.
Yeah, he did.
Oh.
Runners will be going on the pitch.
This black screen thing in front of me now is hard to see their signs.
That's gonna get
That's
into the
good.
hole.
Into the hole. The second visit
nice
going over.
stop.
Ranges. Has it. Spins. It's not going to be in.
Double clutch was still able to get him.
Oh, I'm not so sure about that. But it does not matter. There is no replay in high school baseball, so that will be an out, and the inning is over. The Panthers do score.
Over under 11.5.
I know, right?
I'll take the over. Gotta watch the first inning, first gone.
3 times?
Wow, so that was that inning. It's already 5:17.
I know.
The game got started a little late here at Beverly. It started, I think, at 4:47. That's a 30-minute first inning, and no lights here at Beverly.
Yeah. That was an issue last year, right?
Yes, there was a game that happened to
Or
as
maybe
well.
2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago, right? I mean,
Yeah,
it seems like these two teams never able to get a full 7 innings in the time allotted.
Yeah, I don't know if it was Griff's senior year.
No, I think it was the following year.
Definitely Ian and Noah Guanci, whose mom's Kristen, just walked through the booth.
Mm-hmm.
See you, Tom. That game started late. The skies darkened.
Right?
Yes.
It started raining. Game was suspended, and we had to come back on the weekend.
Yeah, on a Saturday.
And I feel like Casey McGrath hit maybe a home run on Saturday morning to tie the game.
You're right,
And
he
then
did. I remember this
then
now.
Beverly came back to win it on maybe an Ian Visnick
Yes.
infield hit.
Yes. I don't know if it was in the last inning or,
I think
if it went to extras.
I think it ended up going extras.
Okay.
But what do I know with my memory?
That was pretty good memory. That was some pretty good memory. Well, the Panthers scored 3 times there in the first, and now we go to the top of the second with the Panthers in front 3-1.
And I just want to let you know, Dom and Rich, that my sources have stepped up to the plate, and the pronunciation for the Twins is Gelée.
Gelée. That does sound French. Hard on the ground over to short. Reyes up with it, throws, and got him, and a much better start here to the second inning for Maverick. As 1 pitch, 1 out.
This will be quite big for the Panthers here to get a hold here and get back in and hit with 6, 7, 8, Pulsifer, Lembo, and Isley.
And here in the second now, the defensive alignment behind Jeunesse. As we mentioned, Teddy Fisher doing the catching. McKay over there at first. Danny Pierce at second. Reyes at short.
Ooh, nice curveball.
Connor Conley over there at third. In the outfield, it goes Carnazio, McManus, and Porcello. Ooh.
He got him. He got him.
That one just runs in and hits him. I don't know. I think it was just a fastball that got away from Jeunesse.
We get ice.
Rub some dirt on it, right? Ooh, someone for Swampscott getting off to a good start there. Ooh,
Big swing and a miss there from Isley.
That was an interesting pitch right there.
I'm not exactly sure what it was.
I mean, I wouldn't say it was a screwball, but it kind of had a screwball kind of effect the way it broke.
I think that he told Tom that he threw a splitter.
Cutter, I think.
Cutter.
Cutter.
I think he said.
That thing broke in on the right-hand batter.
Swung on, ground ball over the third. Connolly has it, goes to second for 1.
Oh, Danny couldn't make the...
And Danny's not going to make the throw over to first, but they get the lean down at second. And now 2 gone for the number 9 hitter, Chris Trapp.
Yeah, I thought they were going to get the turn there and get out of it. Nice play by Connor Conley, getting low there and throwing a strike to Danny. Oh, look at him.
Right. Take it off.
Oh, yeah.
He's got no chance.
He never even glanced at him. He just.
Yeah, Isley?
Yep.
That is Isley who reached on the fielder's choice. Gets himself in a scoring position.
Did you say Isley that time?
That's how it's spelled.
Pours the fastball on the inside. Beverly would like to keep it clean here, get back in and extend the lead. Good stop by
there
Teddy.
by Fisher.
Swung on ground ball over the third. Foul ball, though.
Connolly was over there for it. Pretty good crowd over there for the track meet.
Yeah, it's
now,
nice
now
to
that they
see.
have stands over.
Yeah, very nice. I was going to comment on that, having the stands there. Like Frank Fortyfield.
he's got him.
Pecked.
Nice
Great
move.
inside
He has
throw.
got him dead to rights in a pickle. There's the
that's a
throw,
nice
and
job.
he
Ooh.
is out.
Almost got the slide in there, but got him. Nice job.
Maverick
With the
throws out Isley over at second with the pickoff. That fake spin around move that you're allowed to do with a guy at second.
2 to 4 to 5, right?
Yeah. So in the end, the inning will end, and they will still start with the number 9 man to lead off next inning. As Janest, a solid shutdown inning there after the big first inning by the Panthers.
They might have missed the pitch, but I only had him for 9.
Total of
27.
27. I had 27 as well. Because that last one wasn't a pitch.
That's right. That is correct. And Core looks like he's still on the bump, heading out there for the second inning.
Yeah.
Things are starting to cool down
Yeah,
here
it
at
is.
Beverly High School.
Yeah, I'm going to regret wearing shorts.
It's not the shorts, it's the upperwear. Hey, what are you wearing? You got a sweatshirt or anything, Dom?
Nope.
I got lots of stuff in my car. I got plenty of good.
I'll be okay.
I forgot to pack my sweatshirt, but I got lots of jackets in my car.
I'm sure I'll be all right.
It's April baseball. You have to bring multiple layers.
As nice as it starts out, you never know how it's going to finish.
Exactly.
I know. I should have realized Andover was never going to be here on time.
We have had games that started out perfect and ended frigid. So, such is New England for you.
So it'll be back to the top of the lineup here in the second. Pierce, McKay, and McLean all to still face Owen Core in the second.
Beverly with a big win on that race, the sprint, 100-meter sprint there.
Rich, when's the last time you run 100 meters?
Probably running from the authorities a long time ago. Is that Tony Pasquarosa over there? Look at that.
That man. Beverly Little League base running coaching royalty is in the house.
Waltham sports legend.
Coach,
Tony Pasquarosa.
Coach, you see the guy get picked off a second? Oh, too bad. He needs a remedial lesson from you.
He got really picked off.
No, they did. Andover got picked off.
I got to tell you, we need to bring an extra headset so for guests who come in and join us. That's
And now, what are you supposed to do in that situation when you know you're dead? You're supposed to
Try
just
to get
run.
out of it.
Nah, you're supposed to just
Try
run.
to-
I was
try to
told.
get out of it,
I
yeah.
was told to just. You should just go for it at that point and just force them to at least make the long throw. Now, in Little League, they can't execute a pickle, so I that works a little bit better in Little League. But I mean, I don't know.
Well, I
in
don't
high
know.
school, you should be able to know how to do a rundown.
Every Rich Francis team, I think, was well schooled, and they could run it. Oh, that's
nice
smashed up
job
the
by
middle.
Danny right there.
I meant the defense, though.
Well, the kids like getting into rundowns in practice, so once you've done everything you needed to do, you do a little rundown drill. work.
We used to drill it all the time. My teams.
Yep.
2 guys to a base, switch 2 guys. 2 schools of thought. You follow your throw and go to the right. You follow your throw, you go to the left. You throw and go back. I was in big favor of throwing it and going to the right and recirculating to the next base.
Right. It's one of those things you practice a lot more than you probably need because of how often it happens. Because it doesn't really happen that often.
No.
But it is one of those things you have to practice.
So here is McKay, who ripped a double against the right field wall. One-hopped the wall, basically.
Pierce might be going on this. Nope.
Swung on high fly in the
That's
center
carrying.
field.
That's carrying.
That is carrying. The center field continuing to trail back, but he does glove it to make the catch.
Nice job.
And as we've talked about, this wind has changed directions many a times, and now it's blowing out a little bit more on that one.
Cal just got a little under that one. He put a good ride into it, but
he barreled that up a fraction more. I think that thing might have went.
I think it might have.
The other thing is, it is the deepest part of this field. So.
That is true.
So 1 gone, 2 pretty well hit balls. Danny lashed a line drive single right back up the middle, and then a deep fly out by McKay, and now Colby McLean stands in.
Again, there was a time when there wasn't a fence out here, and you had to leg them out if you hit it that deep enough.
Rich, do you recall years gone by, Beverly High playing this team at Necco?
Playing against Andover?
And not at Andover High, at Necco on a Saturday.
I do.
And Sammy Armbruster going Yabu.
I do. I think I do believe.
Really?
Anthony Mastriani on the bump actually got the win, came in, got a rare start out of JVs that
I do
year,
remember that.
and he was lights out.
Yep, I do remember that game.
Maybe we got behind or we dominated and hung on at the end, but it was a Beverly win one way or the other, and Sammy's home run factored into that somewhere.
I do remember that. Mastriani, it was like
there he goes, swing and a miss. A very nice throw, and they got him.
Wow, that was from his knees pretty much.
And that was on the bag. You're not going to see a throw better than that. Holy smokes.
That was one of the twins there, Ryan, with an absolute missile over the second base, as you mentioned, from his knees, and guns down Danny Pierce.
Second baseman didn't even have to move his glove.
I know. I'll tell you,
that was right on top of the bag.
That wasn't like a pitch out or anything either. That ball was a little low for the catcher.
And a slider and a good one from Core. Nabs just the outside corner and gets McLean looking. So nothing in the second for the Panthers, and on to the third, still 3-1, Beverly in front.
Only a 10-pitch inning. So Core recovering some work there. Andover delighted to get out of that. Unfortunately, the leadoff hit did not go anywhere. Do you think if he walked, he would have scored, Rich, instead of got a base hit?
Walks kill you, so yes. I think to a degree there's a psychological component to it.
It could be.
Pitcher walks the leadoff guy, and then he's afraid he's going to walk a guy, and he starts to groove it in there for a guy to hit it. It's kind of like, when a team makes an error, right? They get a little tighter, and it's easier to take advantage of them. That's one of the things I noticed whenever you played against Danvers when Roger Day was the coach. If you made an error, he made you pay. It was almost inevitable that, they were going to score after an error.
Brandon Haley, it looks like, is the new man on the mound here for the Panthers. So Jeunesse done after 2, and Beverly in a similar scenario to Andover, I'm sure, is really going to have to piece together the pitching because they need to make sure plenty of people still stay available for the next 2 days after this.
So Jeunesse threw less than 30 pitches, so I don't know if it's 30 or I don't know if he has to sit out a day or if he's available tomorrow. I think he might actually be available tomorrow.
Yeah, Braden started the last game and threw against Peabody, the game that Tommy and I did. That was on
Saturday.
No.
Friday?
No.
Thursday. I only have 7 choices.
All right. I got to think when this game was.
But kind of a, I mean, it's not the same, obviously.
I think it was Wednesday. I'm going with Wednesday.
Okay.
I'm going with Wednesday.
It's
and
not.
today's Tuesday, so that's 6 days.
Yeah, if Tommy was here, he'd be able to tell you.
Braden, like I said, threw very well. He only gave up one earned run. He was victimized by a couple of miscues, but he threw the ball very well. So I guess he'll start with the number 9 batter, right?
Yeah.
To be Trapp, the first baseman.
Chris Trapp.
High leg kick there.
I'd have something for Haley, except he doesn't. Where he releases the ball is very different than the motion. I got nothing. Swung on, and that one fouled. That was coming towards us a bit more, but
It was
that
indeed.
last little bit of net.
The
Was right
net
there.
did its job there.
Braden, yeah. Okay.
The net did its job, though.
Yeah, it didn't hit the hole.
No.
One actually went under my chair. One hop underneath my chair. Car right here got hit.
Mm-hmm.
Woman caught one hopper against the fence. We're under siege.
All right, we're now in the distance running here on the track over here in Frank Forty Field.
Rich, when's the last time you've run 2 miles? And it wasn't to escape the authorities. I
Oh, my
guarantee you
goodness. That one
Well,
up and over
there's
his
a
head.
good chance that I never have.
that. Okay, that's fair.
I don't think I've ever ran 2 miles either. Consecutively, at least.
Right, well, yeah. Collectively, I've run at least 2 miles in my life.
Swing and a miss.
Couldn't hold it. No, tipped that.
Oh, yeah.
Good thing
I
that
thought he
was up
squeezed it.
Hit the umpire?
Yep.
Yeah, it did. Oof. Having a tough time. Understandable for sure.
That's why you see the catcher going out to the mound.
Yeah,
You see
give him a
Coach
chance.
Cahill coming out to talk to him, give him some time. Here comes the base umpire. All of the etiquette.
Rich, how do
surrounding
I say
umpire.
the Twins' name again?
Al.
I mean, Al. Al's the one who got that. Al.
Gillet.
Gillet.
And I guess I'll have to give the tip of the cap to ex-Golden Warrior shortstop and present shortstop for the Westfield Owls, Johnny Bassett's dad, Steve, good friend of mine, baseball teammate. I phoned a friend.
There you go.
That's the way to do it.
It's always good to have contacts.
That's right.
All right, so we got a full count here, right?
Is it 2 and 2 or 3 and 2?
I thought it was full.
Swing and fouls it straight back off the fence. Trapp had a nice cut at that one, but could not straighten it out. Swung on and laced into center field, but the center fielder
Man,
Micah
that's
is
fair.
coming on just a few steps and makes the catch for the first out of the inning.
I think Trapp had a quab there, didn't he, Rich?
I
had him
believe he
for
did, yeah.
a 9-pitch at bat.
Yep. I did too. It's quite the quad. Back to the top of the order with one of the Gillets.
Yep, that is Chris. I believe.
The right fielder
Yep.
Stroked
turns
out.
on that.
Long
That is
drive in
gonna
the right
be
field. The
fair
right
Foul
fielder.
ball, and that's going to be
Ground rule
over
double.
the fence on a bounce. Turned on that one.
He sure
Yeah.
did. He hit that about 2 or 3 feet inside the line, and then it rolled into foul territory and up into the tarmac. So ground rule double for the right fielder.
So we got one of BevCam's longtime cameramen Mark Lehman joining us here.
Oh, nice.
Where?
Right behind you.
Right behind you.
All right.
Right behind you. Al.
Okay.
All right, one out, one on with the ringing ground rule double by Chris Gillet, and now Napolitano, the man standing in. Big cut and a miss.
Napolitano had a single his first at-bat.
I'm glad that Mark Lehman wasn't planning to do me any harm because I had no idea he was behind me.
He's stealthy.
Piece of that, 0-2 quickly.
So, Al, what does Haley feature? This is the first time I've ever seen him.
Fastball, curveball.
Pretty much it.
Yeah, I didn't see much of a change.
Okay.
I feel like that he probably has a little bit of movement on one of his fastballs. I don't know if it's kind of slider or cutter.
All right.
I don't think there was more than 3, if my memory serves me right.
Napolitano, when he hits a high fly in the right field, Porcello's going
gets
over.
there.
Porcello makes the catch. And obviously, Chris easily able to get over to third, but 2 gone now.
That was a nice catch. That ball was hit hard.
No, I
did
think
not
he did.
catch it.
He did
dropped
not.
it.
I think he dropped it.
He dropped
Yeah.
it?
Napolitano, for a second, thought the same thing and was actually headed back towards first base, and they had to tell him. So unfortunate there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Obviously, our view down that right field part can get a little obstructed with the hill and wherever we are.
Yeah, he had to run a long way for that. Looked like he had it. The runner goes, fly
High
ball to
fly
left.
ball in the left. The left fielder going over. The
That's
center
over
fielder
his
going
head,
over.
and that ball ground rule double.
And that one hops over the wall for a ground rule double, and a lot of hard contact here in the second for Andover, and they are right back in this game. It's 3-2, and they have second and third with only 1 out.
Oh, it almost hit our camera out there.
Ooh, I can't wait to watch that on the
Yeah,
replay and see the
hopefully-
ball. Hopefully they had it.
Hopefully our crew chief was able to switch the camera just as that happened. Who is our crew chief today anyway?
Tim Hesse.
Tim Hesse. Let's see if Tim's on the ball.
Oh, they're talking. Okay.
Yeah.
Coach Maleo to the mound.
Yeah, so now they
For a
will
quick
be
chat.
meeting with Braden. Trying to calm him down here and see if he can limit the rest of the damage here in the third. 3-2 the score right now. Beverly hanging on to that 1-run lead, but second and third and only 1 out. And now it's the catcher, Ryan Gillet.
Ryan fouled out to the first baseman, Cal McKay, in the first inning.
Mm-hmm. Ryan, good cut, fouls it
Off the roof.
off the roof of the house over there to our right.
Yeah, the net didn't do much for the house there.
Well, that net is way down. It
That
should
net has seen better days.
be- yeah, it's about 10 feet lower than it should be. I think the top wire is either slack or broke.
Yeah, kind of looks like it.
All right, 0-1 now on Ryan. That one missing high and away.
We've had some well-struck balls today on both sides.
We certainly have. The bats have certainly woken up today for both teams.
Not
And
sure.
they were ready to go.
Did he call that or no?
Don't think he did.
Don't think he did.
No, I believe the count is 2-1. Same thing again, sort of hard foul towards the opposite field side.
Tip of the cap to the net for doing a job that time.
The net doesn't have a great fielding percentage, but
does not. Has some
makes plays on occasion.
Has some holes in its glove.
Yeah. Kind of like Raffy Devers at third base.
Yeah, he don't play there anymore, though.
No.
They moved him out of that. We're still asking the net to stop things.
Did you guys see Jaron Duran steal home plate the other day?
I did.
Fantastic.
Unfortunately, that play was overlooked because of an incident with the fan.
That is very true.
You know, which brings you to, yes, you may have paid
Fouls
to say
that off to
stuff,
say
but
that.
Sometimes because you can doesn't mean you should say it.
No.
I think there's an article in today's Globe. I didn't get to read it, but I think the title is "What Happened to Decency?"
Yeah. Well, I think part of it is that that anonymity that people think they have in a big crowd like that.
Mm-hmm. I was bearing in on him, and he fought it off.
I very seldom listen to sports radio, but I think it was on in my vehicle because I was listening to Red Sox game the day before, and whoever the talking head was saying when folks like Jaron Duran come out and talk about things like that, they're brave, and one of the reasons they're brave is because they now share some intimate detail that Joe Public can throw in their face.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's
it's going to be foul.
Yeah,
and you know, the thing about a guy like that coming out and saying that stuff, he may have actually saved someone's life by doing that.
absolutely.
And rather than celebrating, he has some bonehead in the stands who's yelling that kind of stupidity. So,
there will always be that element, no matter what the case may be.
and again, you know, the Guardians, you know, they came out with a statement and saying, you know,
Well, they removed him right away.
Yeah, but you know, most of our fans are good, but you got that one nitwit who makes everybody else, you know, it's a bad reflection on the rest.
Swing and a miss as he gets Ryan in a big punch out there for Braden Haley.
Great battle.
Yeah.
That was
a
quab
quab
as well,
yeah.
despite ending in a swinging strikeout. Now we got 2
Well,
outs.
that's where a baseball stat's a little, ridiculous. You got a man at third there with 1 out.
Yeah,
That's not a quab.
Well,
It is by the letter of the law.
The ridiculosity, that's a word.
Ridiculousness. I think
The ridiculous.
But I like ridiculosity better.
The ridiculousness is where the game has gone to all of these metrics.
Yeah.
You know, and the metrics are just crazy. What about the eye test? What about looking
Right,
at a ball player and watching him play and see how he handles the bat and what he does in situations? Everything is driven by, like you say, Dom, he had a quab, but he didn't deliver a hit with 2 runners in scoring position, right? So
I do think, at least from the offensive perspective, I think it's starting to get a little bit better.
Yeah.
yeah, I think
I've heard a little bit less about launch angle this year,
Yeah.
and I think, with the Yankees building the team that they have the last 3 years and they still don't have a World Series, I think that's sort of helping with the, only when it comes to offense. The pitching is still a runaway freight train of.
Well, I think the reason it is a quab is because everyth's predicated so much on the pitch count these days.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's a quab because, you had 12
'Cause you
pitches and you used up his
stretched out
pitch count. And, but there's still guys in second and third and we're still losing by a run.
Yeah. But I think at least offensively, it's at least slowed down on the crazy train that it was the last couple of years.
Well, I think part of that is the pitch clock now makes it easier to steal bases.
That too.
And so now you can go back to playing
Swung on
small
hard
ball.
ground ball over to second. Danny has it, throws to first, and a great job there from Braden Haley as he rebounds after a lot of hard hit balls in contact. But he makes sure that his Panthers stay in front after giving up the 1 run. And on to the bottom of the third, 3-2, Beverly in front.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that ball bouncing over the fence, they had to send the runner back. We didn't really talk about that. They sent the runner back to third base because the ground rule double.
Yep.
If that stays in the field of play, there's a good chance he scores from first base, and it's 3-3.
Yep.
So a fortuitous hometown bounce for the Panthers, and after 2.5, it's a 3-2 ball game.
And you know, Al, you bring up a good point with that fortuitousness. Baseball is one of these things where you can sting it and make an out, and you could barely hit a ball and get on base on it.
Absolutely.
So, you know,
But what do you have to do at least for either of those outcomes to happen?
yeah,
Swing the bat.
Well,
Make
put the ball in
contact.
play.
Yeah, yeah.
And what have the Yankees not done
Yeah.
when they go to the playoffs and play in bigger games
Yeah.
and better teams?
Well, you know, the other thing about that is when you get to the playoffs, your starting pitcher goes a little bit longer,
Mhm.
right? And so you're talking about a better pitcher pitching in your game, right? And so
Which decreases the amount of obvious mistakes that you can get to just
Right.
launch a ball 430 feet over the fence.
yeah.
And you got to manufacture stuff more.
You know, I mean, it still comes down to pitching when you get to the playoffs.
Mhm.
You know, most of your playoff games are low-scoring games.
And
Whereas
it-
your regular season, it's just, you know, it's like batting practice.
And in the World Series, did you read the article? It was before the last game that came out, though. But the Dodgers, I forget who leaked it. Someone had leaked it that the Dodgers scouting report on New York going into the thing was not only the things that we have talked about with them not having a hard time making contact, but them caring more about that than they do guys playing at the positions they should be playing at. And the Dodgers said, at all times, we are going to do things like take the extra
Yep,
base
yep.
because we're just going to force them to have to make plays that we don't think they're going to be able to make.
Yeah.
And they couldn't throw anybody out on the base paths. They couldn't, you know.
So is this core still out there?
Yeah.
It is. He's out there for his third inning of work.
Had that long first inning, but
Yeah, it helped that he had a much shorter second.
Yeah, he had a 10-pitch second inning.
Yep.
But, yeah, as we suspected with all the games mashed together, that Andover, no matter what, was going to make Owen give them a few innings.
Teddy Fisher had a RBI base hit back in the first inning and scored the third of the Panther runs.
Well, probably if he doesn't make this a quick inning, we'll probably see someone get up in the bullpen because he's up around 60 pitches now.
I'd say
That's gonna be a
breaking
tough
ball.
play.
He's got a much better feel for it now post that first inning. And it's a soft ground out to the second baseman, one away.
That's 4-3 for you kids scoring at home.
Indeed. 2 4-3s in a row, Rich. Ended the Golden Warriors inning. And coming up is the Beverly High School soccer goalkeeper and third baseman today, more importantly,
Yep.
Connor Conley.
With his pencil bat.
Connor walked his first at bat. Rich, do you think he's going to want to erase that walk with that pencil?
You think it's wood and graphite?
I think it is. It looks like a Ticonderoga to me with
Yeah,
the
it does
color
look
yellow.
like Ticonderoga.
I
Now-
think the Oriole pencils are a little more orange. The Ticonderoga are a little more yellow.
Well, Ticonderoga is one of those products that has like a cult following. I know a lot of people like get all excited by Ticonderogas. I'm not a pencil guy myself.
Well, Rich, hopefully I'm not sharing too much, but I do have a box of Ticonderogas in the drawer at home.
Now, are you anti-Oriole or are you just like the Ticos?
Or
High fly into center field. The center fielder is there to make the catch, and two gone.
it's kind of funny, Rich. I think we all have associations with certain things throughout our life. And I associate Oriole pencils with having to take a standardized exam and having a fill.
That's a good point. Good point. Because they're not giving you Ticonderogas.
No, they're
for
not
those
that. They're not indeed.
standardized tests. Yeah.
Probably they're all on a computer now, but hey, you know, I'm a child of the 60s. So.
Yeah, right. We see Paul Guanci walking by the Panthers banner right there.
Hopefully not looking for Noah. No, that's a joke. His daughter Julia was running over at the track meet. Julia, who will be going to St. Anselm's to run track next year, had a fine gymnastics season, all Salem News team. Good senior year for Julia, finishing up her gymnastics career, but it will be track that she will be participating in.
At St. Anselm's, where the Pascarosa kids
and several other Beverly track athletes as well.
Yeah.
And I'm not coming up with the names right now. Her brother, Anthony.
Yep.
And there are a couple.
Meredith,
Meredith, of course. Yep. And there are others there. Well, look at this race being run now. I think it's the relay.
Oh,
nice breaking ball.
I have Owen Core's comp.
Okay.
Kiko Calero.
Oh, okay. Another short inning for the Calero doppelganger.
12 pitches, Rich?
Yeah.
You got a 68?
I get 69, so...
Okay. I probably missed one.
So after 3 full, hometown Panthers with clinging to a 3-2 lead. And let's see who's coming up for Andover. Will be the 6th, 7th, and 8th batters, Drew Pulsifer, Steve Lembo, and Nick Isley. Pulsifer grounded out 6-3.
And I believe that's Connolly on the mound now, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Good eagle eyes. So 1 inning.
Move to third.
Can
we tell?
Danny Pierce is still there. It
Yes.
could be.
Is that 14?
Could be Noah.
No, it's not Fisher. Oh, or is it?
Maybe Jonah Bellew's behind the dish.
I think
and
it
Teddy
is.
Fisher has moved to third.
Yeah.
Okay, so there we have it. Good scouting.
Number 14.
Yes, number 14.
That's your catcher.
Yep, Teddy Fisher. So he moved to third, and Bellew.
I assume I can't see him, but I assume it's Jonah.
Yeah, it could have been someone else.
That happened last game to me too. I couldn't see and assumed it was Jonah, and I was right.
So Jonah would have had to come in for someone. Unless
see.
they got rid of the DH and they would have come in for McLean, which I don't think they're going to do that. Could be an outfielder.
Let's see. Jeunesse got replaced by Haley. Haley goes out of the game.
Porcello's still in right.
But
Cornazzo is in left.
So the question becomes is who did Bello technically comes in for the Bellew. Yeah, technically comes in for the pitcher, Rich.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So he will be.
So he's not going to hit.
So
he's
hit.
the one getting DH for it.
Yes.
Okay. There we go.
All right. So Drew Pulsifer, the second baseman for Andover, stepping in here in the top of the 4th in a 3-2 game. Panthers. Bats came alive in the first, but they've been quieted down the next 2. Connolly pours in one that did it. Man,
we think it might be a strike.
I need a comically emphatic umpire here with this raised
windscreen. Very nice windscreen with the Panther logo flanking the big block letter.
Yeah, they did a nice job on it.
It is nice. It's not nice for the broadcast. But it does look very nice.
Well,
with the logos on either side, too, is a nice touch.
Well, I did get a very nice apology text from Coach Cahill for the height of the windscreen. Sorry to be messing you guys up.
Is it a windscreen or is it just to deter people from sitting behind?
I think it's a windscreen that deters people from sitting behind.
Okay. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone, I guess.
Swing and a miss, so that means the first pitch was a ball.
Yeah, I believe we got a full count here then.
All right, full count offering from Conley. Swung on and laced in the left field. That's going to drop in front of the left fielder, and it's a leadoff knock for the Golden Warriors. And I'll tell you, as I said, coming in advertised from the stats off the Max Preps, this team can hit.
Yep.
They have hit the ball pretty well.
Well, their record is that of a team that can hit.
And they do play in one of the stronger divisions around. They're in the Merrimack Valley, which is broken up into Division 1 and 2. And they play in Division 1 of the Merrimack Valley and currently sit second I think behind North Andover, but I need to check that.
I believe they play Tewksbury tomorrow, or Chelmsford. Coach couldn't remember.
This is Lembo, the shortstop. Unless I was wrong, actually, I might have been wrong.
About
What's that number?
That is Lembo.
Lembo's up, yep.
Okay, it is Lembo. Okay, good.
Yep.
Andover will run, as we've seen, so it'll be interesting to see if they decide to go, especially, seeing that you get a different catcher behind the plate. Maybe they think they can run on a kid. A slide step.
Swing, and he fouls this one back.
Head of the batter now. Another slide step.
A hard ground ball
Trying to
over
go the other way, Pierce.
Second baseman has it, spins, fires,
Pulled him off the bag.
and the throw pulled him off the bag. Now he's going to head for third with no throw at all, and now it's men at the corners with nobody out.
That was going to be a tough play for Danny to make. I don't know if he would have had him anyway.
I think, unfortunately, with that throw, maybe with a right-handed first baseman where it was the inside of the bag, it might have been caught, but
Yeah.
Cal had to come across his body being a lefty.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, Danny, getting to it, but unfortunately, throw goes off the glove, and
How do you score on that one, Al?
runners on the corners. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to give an error on the throw, Rich.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I'm okay with being overruled.
Yeah, I thought the first baseman at least needs to squeeze that, though.
Trying to cut him off. The runner doesn't go. That stolen base. As we said, Andover is wont to do.
Mm-hmm.
Second and third now. No outs. Got to bring the infield in a one-run game.
Something to note here, by the way, when I look at the stats, I don't know if this is a philosophy of the way he does the lineup, but the number 9 hitter is not a normal number 9 hitter, at least from his performance this year.
Well, there's a ball that gets underneath Bellew to the backstop, and we get a run coming in there.
And that will tie the ball game up 3-3, and now still nobody out here in the fourth.
And Rich, I don't know how to score that because I couldn't see the ball due to the windscreen.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a wild pitch or a pass ball.
Back to your point on the number 9 batter, Dom. He did have a good at bat and hit the ball solidly right at the center field the last time.
He did, and he is 7 for 15 on the season with 2 extra base hits.
Okay. A lot of times your number 9 batter is considered your second leadoff batter.
Yep. Swing and a miss as he gets that one by Isley. He might have actually got a piece of it and just fouled it into the catcher's glove, but. And ball 4 as he loses Isley, and now we'll see how they want to play the infield. Already moving the second baseman and shortstop back. And as I mentioned here is Chris Trapp, who has done some damage with the bat this season.
The old fake to third play. They changed that in Major League Baseball?
Yeah, you can't do it anymore.
You can if you step off.
Yes.
And disengage from the rubber.
Because at that point, you're not a pitcher anymore, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm. That one missing also, so 2-0 now on Trapp. Talked about Al, the advantage of hitting ahead in a count, and now Chris can sort of zone in on a pitch-in location that he wants.
That's not that play right there. That's not necessarily to try to catch a guy. It's to keep him honest. Kind of read if he's trying to go.
His lead is now shortened up a step.
Still going, though.
That one missing very high, and it's 3-0 now.
Great job by Jonah Bellew to elevate on that.
Yeah, that one really had backstop written all over it, and Jonah had to get up out of that crouch and go up and get it. 3-0. Chris swinging on 3-0 and a ground ball over to
Nice
third.
job by Fisher
Looks
looking
the
him
man back, and that is going to be an out, and it's going to be no run at all for Andover.
That's why you play in that situation. Hopefully you can get something hard at you as opposed to either side of you that gets through.
Andover aggressive there on a 3-0 count, swinging away. It does not pay off.
Runner on first did move to second on that.
Back to the top of the order, the right fielder.
Gelé, and Gelé is swing and a miss.
He has a walk with a run scored in the first inning and a very loud double and another run scored in the third inning. So owner of 2 of the 3 Golden Warrior runs.
So coach moved the middle infielders back.
Hard ground ball over to
nice
first.
throw.
First
Runner's
baseman
going.
has it, tries to
Throw
go.
by McKay. Can't get the throw there.
And
Gets
that's going to
away.
go by. It's going to allow another run to score. And now 2 runs coming in to score. And Andover will take a 5-3 lead.
The Panthers got what they wanted, which was a hard hit right ball at one of their infielders, but unable to parlay that into a successful outcome.
Yeah, and the ball was hit so hard he didn't have to move that he thought he could get to the bag and throw home. And honestly, actually, if he might have had a chance actually to still get the man also, but certainly made him rush the throw and ends up getting away from the catcher and allowing a second run to score. I thought he was just going to go home right away, though. But
Yeah, Cal did a nice job fielding that ball.
and that ball was hit very hard, right?
And it put him in a weird position to be able to, either look at the guy or get there, and he kind of got caught in between on it.
Yeah, I think that, looking at it again, it appeared to me that he had made up his mind that he was going to go to first when it was hit that hard.
Yep.
But the runner really broke right away on contact.
Oh, yeah, they were on. It was clearly they had the contact play on.
Yeah.
So, that's where you just got to gather yourself and survey the situation. Because if he froze him and held him with the look, he gets him out at first.
Right.
Yes.
Yep.
If he looks at him and he goes home, then he has him dead and he forgets about the runner on first. So
Right.
it's just, like you say, one of those plays where the
Drop
option
third strike,
came
and
up.
they're going to get him at first.
Yeah. But it's tough, man. The game moves fast, and Andover now has taken the lead as we head to the bottom of the fourth. 5-3, the Golden Warriors in front.
All right, Beverly's going to need to get those bats going again. Like you said, Dom, 3 runs in the first inning, but have not scored since.
Yeah, the Beverly Bats have gone quiet once again after a very nice first inning. And certainly, as you mentioned, going to have to wake them back up.
So
We'll
as
see who's going to be on the hill for the Golden Warriors. I imagine Core has got to be done.
Well, it looks like Cora's going.
Okay.
No, he's going back out there.
Yeah, he's only at 69 pitches. They're obviously not going to have him pitch tomorrow.
Yeah.
That was a foregone conclusion probably after the first inning. We have some speculation because he's not on the roster that we have. That's potentially a JV call-up. We just got left off the roster on Max Prep, which is not be on the realm of possibility.
No.
So a couple other things about games coming up. So the game on Thursday, May 1st, versus Danvers, is our youth night game.
Even though it'll be during the day.
Yes. Beverly Little League has sent this out there. They're going to have Panthers Law? I don't know what that means.
A paw.
Oh, Panthers Paw rubber bracelets. Okay, it was a typo. Panther Paw rubber bracelets, paw stickers, and paw tattoos. Dom, you have a paw tattoo in a spot that we can't mention. Isn't that true?
That is not true at all. I don't know what you're talking about. I do have a stick and poke yin and yang tattoo in the middle of my back, which I regret deeply.
When you
They
say
can
middle,
they can remove those now.
when you say middle of the back, you mean the lower back?
No,
right?
I do not. No. I mean my shoulder blade.
Okay. Anyway, getting back to the Youth Day, the Panthers are hoping that the kids will want to run the bases at the end of the game. And on May 3rd, Beverly Little League is opening day. So the boys will be down collecting cereal for bootstraps and to be present as the bigger kids mentor the younger
So
kids.
the cereal collection is at Youth Day or at opening day
I
at
believe
Harry
it's
Ball?
at Harry Ball.
Okay.
Opening day
Not
at
when
Harry
they come for Youth Day today.
I'm
on
just
Thursday.
reading the text that.
Okay, sorry to have questions, Rich. I'm
clarifying
always full of questions.
Clarifying questions can be very helpful. Prevents any misunderstanding.
Would you say that if I was one of your students?
Absolutely. I try to get my students to ask questions.
Jonathan Ray is up, the shortstop. Jay Ray had an RBI base hit with 2 outs, right?
Yes,
2-out
yep.
RBI in the
He
first
was the
inning.
one with that 2-out RBI knock. Bluffed it right in front of the center fielder and pretty much straight away center field. 7, 8, and 9, Reyes, McManus, and Porcello for the Panthers here in the fourth.
Inside
High
outside.
fly in the right field. The right fielder continuing to go back.
Wow,
and that ball kept carrying.
That's a ground rule double,
And that's going to be a
folks.
ground rule double. And once again, by the way, if you look at the wind right now, it has again changed direction. And it's kind of blowing pretty much straight out. And the right fielder very much thought he had a beat on that and realized that he did not have the beat on it that he thought he did.
When that ball comes off the right-handed bat, it's going to go towards the line.
Yep.
So he got turned around first, and then, like you said, it got up in the jet stream, and that just carried. And I don't think that wasn't that far. That was not far away from going over the fence.
It wasn't. It was not at all.
Okay, Micah McManus trying to get Beverly 1 run closer.
Man squares, ball goes to the backstop.
Yeah, and that's going to get Reyes over to third.
That's even better than a bunt.
It has certainly not been a fun day to be an outfielder.
Yeah.
We've had a number of balls who have done the opposite of that and drop in front of outfielders where we thought they were going to be caught. And it almost seems like, I don't know, maybe every 3 pitches you need to be looking at that flag and seeing just where the wind is changed to.
Well, I know that we give our local weathermen always a hard time for the forecast, but Mike Wonkum did say it was going to be windy today.
I can't tell what the umpire is calling on these. I think that was a ball.
Thank you. It's killing me today.
Like you said, we need one of those animated guys.
I know. Hard one.
Oh,
Diving
nice
stop by the
play.
second
That is
baseman.
the play of the
Gets
day
up
right
and
there.
throws him out over at first. What a sensational play over there by Pulsifer. And now there's a man out, and Reyes is going to have to stay at third.
Saved a run with the infield in on that. That's the play of the day so far.
It really is. 4-3, and maybe put 2 stars next to that one.
Drew made a quality play in the bottom of the first when he went into that hole to get Porcello that we thought. I know that you thought that the call maybe could have went the other way, so that's a second quality play. But I agree with you. That's a special one. Beyond quality. Okay, so Adam Porcello's up.
So as we saw, one Beverly. Oh, okay.
We're going squeeze?
Can't get it down.
Yeah, squeeze play,
Look
but
like
that
a
one's going to roll
safety
foul.
Squeeze. As one Beverly sports legend leaves, with Tommy Donovan going, we get a new one.
Dean.
Jack Dean coming in.
Oh, okay. Good to see Jack.
Jack was on my coaching staff with the White Sox, Rich, when we won the City Series, by the way.
Oh, did you
Just
win?
won,
Yeah, the White Sox, you
uh,
guys won the
just-
City Series. I was
just,
not aware of that.
This should have been 2, but it was 1.
And a breaking ball missing.
The year we should have won, we didn't. And the year we shouldn't have won, we did.
Ooh, almost grooved that one in.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Core, since that first inning where he faced 9 batters, been right on his game here.
He really has. He's really turned it around, and really most of it is because he's sort of found that breaking ball. There's a line drive laced in the left center field. That is a run for sure, and Micah McManus. I'm sorry, Porcello. Yep. With the RBI knock. Micah was the one who was robbed over there by Paulson first.
Some Andover fan at home is cursing me out for jinxing him, I think.
Yeah.
On that one.
Beautiful job by Porcello, and now the lineup turns over back to the top. Pierce, McKay, and McLean.
Is that going to be it for Cora? He just reached 80 pitches, I believe, so
we'll see.
Okay, I don't see anyone coming out.
No.
He's not
Looks
giving up
more
the ball.
instructional.
Yeah.
Inspirational, instructional.
I think they're certainly just going to ride Core today for as long as they can.
Candlelights are a nice gift.
It really is like an MLB scenario.
You got that one.
I got that. There aren't a lot of movie references I get, but I got that one. Danny Pierce, let's see what he's done. Danny has walked and scored a run in the first inning and has reached on a base hit in the second. I assume that's a ball.
Based on the reaction from the Andover bench.
And where it ended up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Panthers looking to battle back and get even. Down a run here in the bottom of the fourth.
One over.
Wind continuing to whip sort of out now, by the way. Still in this inning. As soon as I said that, started going just over to right field.
Ooh. Ooh. Look up. Huh. I need to go watch the BevCam production of this and see if from the center field camera.
Yeah, we're going to have to ask BevCam for a monitor here.
Although
it'd be on a delay though, but yeah.
Is the cameras in left center, right?
Yes. You know, we could actually watch the game on YouTube.
It'd be on a delay.
It's live.
I wonder how that view is for balls and strikes from over there. I kind of feel like it was more in center field the other day. But I'll find out when I...
Probably better than the one that we're getting with that screen in the way.
Oh, anything's better than that.
No doubt.
Strike.
Danny didn't like that one.
Did not. Boy, I wish I could call out the count right now, but
I want to say it's 2-2, but
I think it might be.
The other day, the scoreboard was working at the beginning of the game, and we were picking up the count off of that.
Followed it up.
Oh, you got a piece of it. It's a good thing he did. I didn't know if he did. Looked like that breaking ball fooled him. Looked like he put a foot in the bucket.
All right, this one looks like it might be a 200 race here, Al. Al, when was the last time you ran 200 meters?
Last week.
Slider missing off the outer half.
Rich, got to fire up those old bones for old man baseball.
What position do you play?
Second base, and in the younger divisions, I mostly hit.
Okay.
Ooh.
And he's going to get down there and steal second, but Danny strikes out looking, and I'm not sure he was all that happy with the strike three call either.
No.
So that brings up Cal McKay, who was probably hit. Well, I mean, Reyes' ball went pretty far too, so I guess maybe him and Reyes have had the longest balls hit today for the Panthers, but he certainly put a charge into his RBI double back in the first.
Yeah, he seems to be right on it, and I
and
think
they're going to walk him intentionally.
I think that's a good call, the way he's been swinging the bat today.
So right on cue, as I said that, the Golden Warriors select to just put him on first base for free, and that will be Colby McLean now with 2 men on and 2 outs. You are putting the go-ahead and run on base, though, when you do that.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully Colby's angry enough to make a statement here.
That one missing well inside.
Colby has grounded out to third and struck out. Looking for his first knock of the day.
A lot of room to right center, too.
Ooh, cut and a miss from the Panther designated hitter.
That said, if you're hitting the ball in that direction, you got to get it over the second baseman because Pulsiver's shown that he can make a play. High fly ball.
That's
That's
gonna be
trouble
trouble.
in the wind.
I know.
That's gonna
Is
drop
anyone going to get
into
there?
no
They are
man's
not. That
land.
one drops.
Wasn't there 2 outs?
I
No?
thought
Oh, my
there were
goodness.
2 outs. Yeah, there were 2 outs.
There's 2
What?
outs.
What?
That run's got to score.
That is just a complete missed opportunity.
Yep.
Is what I'm going to say. Pulsifer makes the out. Danny Pierce strikes out looking. There is no doubt about it.
Yep.
There's 2 outs in the inning, and this should be a tie ball game.
Yeah, that ball hung up long enough for a guy to round third and get home. But now we got bases loaded. Teddy Fisher.
Bases loaded for Teddy Fisher. Teddy trying to
Ball up high.
potentially tie this game or even take the lead.
I don't know what the umpire is telling the bench. I think he's telling guys to get inside the dugout.
Maybe.
He's over 90 pitches now.
Teddy already has 1 RBI on the day. An RBI single on the ball you hit right back up the middle. That went in for a strike and a throw down to first.
Ball
Ball
gets
trickles
away.
away. He's going to try and
And the
score.
run.
He's going to score. And Andover. A mistake by the Panthers and then a mistake by Andover to make up for the Panthers one, and this game is tied.
Now, the runner at first was off the bag quite a bit. A throw on the bag might have been able to get him, but
I mean,
that's
risk-
a tough throw.
Risk reward, though,
Yeah.
Rich.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
It's a tough throw anyway, especially with a left-handed batter there. But
Now that'll give Teddy an opportunity to put the Panthers in the lead.
Yeah, 5-5 the score now, and that one missing off the outer half.
That's a strike. I think you called that a strike.
Hey, Bruce, how you doing?
All right, so you got to run him on first. Let's see if he goes. Well, they got him leaning.
Ooh, look at this kick down the
Oh,
back
yeah,
straightaway,
right.
Rich, on this 200.
You know, this track meet reminds me of Karl Marx's sister, Anya.
A bump.
Okay, what do we got going on here?
I think he's got something in his eye.
Oh, okay.
Probably just some dirt kicking up in his eye.
Well, Dom, I have something in my ear, and it's Rich.
And like something in your eye, it's kind of annoying. Yeah, we got the camera people chiming in.
Whoa,
now.
boy, Rich, I don't know. You're taking a beating there.
This
It's not fair.
This broadcast is going off the rails. It's 1st and 3rd with 2 outs and a tie ball
That's gonna be
game,
a foul ball.
and he fouls one back.
Now that said, you know, these games kind of drag on. You get a little punchy, right?
Oh, no, for sure.
Well,
No doubt about it.
At the 6:20
hey,
mark or something.
Orsello and Remy made a career out of
Yeah,
it.
that's true. Which reminds me, it was around this time of year that Here Comes the Pizza.
Pizza,
happened,
yeah.
right?
I think it was just
There he
other-
goes. He didn't even step
Oh.
up. There's nobody covering the base.
Nobody covered.
And
That's a balk.
That's a balk.
That's a
yeah.
balk. That
Yeah.
is absolutely a
Yes.
balk.
He stepped off, though.
And
Why is it a
that
balk?
I
is
think
how.
he moved and then stepped
Yeah, he
off.
did.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beverly
Yeah, he
Base
did. When
runner
the
puts
runner
the
took
pressure on.
off, he kind of turned and then.
He didn't just straight step off. He
Yep.
sort of like hitched up and then.
Got you.
So the Panthers pick up the extra run there.
And now it is 6-5. The Panthers have taken the lead And listen, the score is what matters, but this half inning is certainly not something that you would make an instructional reel out of.
This is not Tom Amansky's base running video.
And Teddy Fisher is still up. 2 runs have scored since he's been in the batter's box. No RBIs awarded to either one.
No.
And he's been standing there. And
Beverly has made a big mistake in this inning, but Andover has made 2.
And Fisher has not qualified for a quab yet.
No.
2 runs scored, but no quab.
That
Now
one
he's got
missing
the
ball
quab.
4, and Teddy Fisher will go down to first.
Okay, so now Teddy's got the quab.
With the most productive walk in the history of baseball.
And it's going to bring up Connor Conley,
So
who...
Core coming up on 100 pitches about now.
Yeah, this
I
has
got
got to
him
be the
at-
end.
I got him at 96.
Okay.
So, guys,
What's the limit in high school?
I think it's over
105?
100, but
105, 110?
but you generally don't try to let a kid go over.
so that will do it for Owen Core, who had quite a pretty rough start to this ball game, and then settled in for a bit before the wheels came off again. Here in the, I'm losing track of everything here now.
This is the bottom of the 4th.
Okay, it is the 4th.
And he was actually doing fine till Rich jinxed him.
I know.
I apologize, folks. That was not intentional. I was just bringing up something I
You
noticed.
can
It's observation.
apologize to the Andover folks, but you're kind of a cult hero on the Beverly side. So.
Speaking of cult heroes, I want to give a shout out to Ann Gavin, who isn't able to watch the game today in person as she's down at Brandeis.
Let's go, Coop.
Or actually, I think she's on her way to Brandeis. She's not there yet. As her son.
I don't know if we don't have a
playing.
full roster or just they had a bunch of call-ups, but I do not have this individual.
You don't have a number 14?
I do not know.
Okay. So on the mound is number 14,
Yes.
Yeah.
the mystery pitcher.
Yeah. So we're just going to call him 14 until we can get some kind of.
When he gave you the lineup, did he have the guys who aren't playing on that picture you sent? Took a look?
Oh, actually, that's a good idea.
If you can get past Dom's thumb.
There's the wind going. I can't let his only lineup card blow away.
This is only Dom's second broadcast of the baseball season, so you got to cut him some slack.
That would be Zach Pulaski, it looks like, number 14.
Yeah.
The substitutions in the shadow of Dom's thumb. Jason Silver in the house, checking out a little bit of track. And Teresa Silver here as well. It can be a long day watching a track meet if you come to watch from beginning to end while your kid's competing in 1 or 2 events.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
So, guys, as Zach throws, I mean, help me make sense of this inning. It has been quite the ordeal.
Dom, I'm going to help you make sense of it right now, okay? And I'm sure you've heard me say it before. Baseball is a funny game. It's you think you've seen it all, right? But it's amazing the quirkiness of the game and the things that happen in the course of a baseball season.
As I've heard Bruce Armbruster say on more than one occasion, baseball is a fickle mistress.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You can commit one of the more well-known cardinal sins, sort of mistakes, and seems like that should be the end of an inning. And you're not going to tie the game, and in the end, you're up 6-5. So
Yeah, it's Connor Connolly.
swing, and he fouls that one straight back from Conley, and a big look up to the stars and a sigh from Connor, as I think he thought he had a very nice pitch to hit right there.
So Connor is the pitcher of record now, correct?
He is.
For the Panthers.
He is.
Pitched last inning, and then they took the lead. Breaking ball.
This is
second here. 2 outs. Base hit could score a run if it's hit in the right spot.
ground ball up the middle. Second baseman
making the
Pulsivar.
play.
Wow, where would Andover be without that young man?
I
playing
don't know.
Second base.
Yeah.
Boy,
They would be in a world of trouble, that is for sure, because they'd probably have at least 2 or 3 more runs on the board. Pulsivar was the one who made the final out in the first inning when the Panthers had scored 3 runs. He's also the man who made a diving stop with the infield in in this inning, and then a very nice play there as well.
That would be, he's working on his WAR, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, and as so often happens, the guy who makes the nice play to end the inning, the first batter to leave the inning.
I know. It does seem like that does happen quite a bit.
I used to. Who used to call the Bruins games? Freddie Cusick and Johnny Pearson.
Johnny Pearson.
And every time the goalie would make a spectacular save on one end, and the opposing team would come down and score on the next rush, he would say that same thing.
Yeah, so
how many times do you see it?
All right, still looks like we're running the 200. Another heat.
This might be JVs.
I don't know. Do they do JV? Or do they just everybody runs the events and then they collect points?
I believe you can only have so many people compete full points on the varsity level.
Okay, for points.
And then the other kids all need to participate. And we have another pitcher up on the bump for the Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Versatility, Teddy Fisher, has gone from catcher to third base, and now he is on the bump.
Wow.
And you don't see catchers get on the mound too often anymore. It's a kind of a different throwing motion, so they try to avoid that. But as we said, it's all hands on deck these next 3 days.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, so this being a non-league game, obviously the coaching staff at Beverly High School has decided that this is going to be as many arms as I got.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then it'll be interesting. Some of those away games I was talking to you earlier, Don, before we went on air, when Beverly put together that mini winning streak, I read in the paper that John Reyes was out there and finishing up. So maybe if they make it to the 7th, that's the guy we'll see to close.
Yes, it could be.
I guess with all of the rainouts and finally figuring out what day the Peabody game was, everybody on the staff's available. So
yeah. So with that though,
looks like
Fisher will work to 6, 7, and 8. Pulsifer, Lambeau, and Isley.
Starting to get a little cooler now. Sun's still out, but it's getting a little cloudy.
Lower, yeah. Beautiful day out.
Yeah. What's tomorrow's weather supposed to be?
I think it's supposed to be a little cooler.
Rain, right?
Tomorrow?
Yeah, no.
I certainly hope not.
Oh, no, that's right. They said rain,
Maybe
rain on the weekend, as happens an awful lot in New England.
Ryan Gillet? No. Will Norris leads off. Will.
I thought you said Pulsifer.
Oh, yeah, I made the mistake of Pulsifer. I was looking at this.
So he's going to have to work to the middle of the lineup right here.
Yes,
he's got,
Norris, that's right.
He's got 3, 4, and 5. And
Pulsifer led off last inning.
And it's 6-5 the score. Will Norris ground ball over to third, and that thing just took off on Connolly.
Yep, and that ball's that ball bounced quite a bit. Connolly took that one off the ankle, it looks like.
It was a really tough hop.
Yep.
And he started to go back to try to get the hop, and obviously with that, I think that when that short hop him, just froze him for a second, the way that came off the bat. So
now Ryan Gillet, the catcher, as we mentioned, 3, 4, and 5 in the inning. There he goes.
Throw down.
Throw is not going to be in time. That's a stolen base for Will Norris, and the tying run up to scoring position with nobody out. Golden Warriors trying to answer back and certainly wasting no time.
So Gillet squared. He's your cleanup hitter. So
I don't think he's going to be doing that again.
I don't think you're going to be seeing him bunting. That was just to allow the guy to get to second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see if he can maybe make the second baseman move. And
Fisher certainly not the fastest one to the plate either.
Yeah. You got to figure.
Swung on, popped up.
McKay's
going to be in
foul
territory.
Couldn't get to it. You got to figure just about every kid here has pitched at some point in their life. Mm-hmm. So they know kind of what they're doing. But if you don't do it often enough, the move to the plate, slide step, all that kind of stuff, probably isn't part of the repertoire.
No.
we think that's a ball.
We think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
pretty sure it was too, but
You need the umpire, kind of like Leslie Nielsen in The Naked Gun.
swung on high, fly in a right field. Porcello going over, continuing to go over, makes the catch. That's going to be an easy tag and move up to third, so the tying run 90 feet away now with only one away. You hold your breath today on every fly ball, I'm telling you.
Yeah, Porcello did a nice job tracking that down, as it looked like it wasn't going to be that hard of a play, and then it just kept on drifting. Again, as you can see the flag blowing left to right, the ball just kept on carrying towards the foul pole.
Nick Isley, the man standing in now, in the infield coming in.
Oh, I get Berman, is that
Berman,
right?
yes.
I mean, yeah,
Alex
him
Berman.
having pulsive.
I know, that was my bad.
Berman has grounded out twice to the
Rich.
second baseman.
I'm not using a book, so I don't miss anything.
Okay.
I need you guys.
Got to get him a book, Al.
No,
He doesn't want a book.
Nice
I don't want a
pitch.
book.
Oh, okay.
because I looked down.
That is a called strike
That was a
3 on
called
the
strike
outside
3.
corner, and that is a huge second out for Teddy Fisher.
That was a tough pitch.
That was a
thing
tough
had a little
pitch.
tail on it.
Despite Dom not having a scorebook and being in a kerfuffle over the lineup, folks, that was a big punch out by Teddy Fisher.
It was.
And now we have Drew Pulsifer.
Okay,
Yes.
there we go. Now, Pulse.
Rich Francis's Player of the Day has stepped into the box.
Well, we still got some game to go, so.
Ground
we're
ball.
going the
That's in
other
a weird
side.
spot.
In.
Kicks
Pulser's
off the
gonna get
first
the run in.
baseman's glove, and that's going to score the run. It was in a weird spot, as I said, coming off the bat, and the first baseman tried to just sort of pick it real quick and skipped off the glove. And
Yeah, as
I'm
the
giving that one an infield hit.
the second baseman was over quite a bit trying to hold the runner, so Cal had to try to get over there.
And I'm not sure with the lack of pitching experience, actually, if Teddy was going to get there, to be honest with you, if Cal fielded that.
No.
I got to go look at that again.
like I said, just right off the bat, I could tell it was trouble. It was just in such an awkward spot. Chopper like that.
I think this is Steve Limbo, who has been hit by a pitch and reached on an error and scored a run in the fourth.
You can hear in our headsets off our microphones, the wind is still howling.
And here comes the JV team from Andover, so maybe we can get a JV score shortly. Hopefully they're walking dejectedly to the field.
Ball gets away. That ball was a tough one for Bellew to handle.
Yeah, that was in the dirt. Jonah got a piece of it, but it squirted away.
You know, they teach you keep it in front of you, but sometimes it squirts off to the side.
Yeah, it looked like he had good position from what I could see.
And strike 3 right on that outer half again, and that will put a stop to the rest of the inning. But the Golden Warriors are able to tie the ball game back up at 6 and on to the bottom of the 5th with this game knotted up.
I got 17 pitches. What'd you have there, Rich?
Yeah, that's about right. All right, now we get the high jump going here.
So, Jeunesse threw 2. Then we had Haley.
Haley for 1.
Then Connolly. And then Fisher. 27 pitches, 26 pitches, 25 pitches, and 17. So if 30 is the number, the Panthers have yet to burn anybody for tomorrow's game against Saugus, I believe.
Though you would think if they were going to burn anyone, it would be Fisher.
Right, yeah.
That's a good point. Although, if you're expecting him to catch the bulk of your innings the rest of this week, I don't know that I would be relying on him to throw too much, you know. But you never know.
Yeah, and we can't see the bullpen over there, so we don't really know if they got anybody warming up.
Yeah, that is true. We can't see home plate. We can't see the bullpen. From my seat, I can't see the first base bag. But other than that, I have a great vantage point up here behind home plate.
I don't know. We may have to call a game from center field one of these days.
We did that one year. Remember that?
We did.
We did. Noah Gawansi was on the mound.
That's right, yeah.
We were able to see the movement of the ball.
Yeah.
Why did we decide we didn't like it out there?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we can talk to our... Nobody's in the pen, we're being told.
Nobody is in the pen. So maybe a position player is going to go in and throw.
Yeah,
maybe.
Or they're going to ride Fisher.
I think...
Again, only threw 17 pitches.
I think Micah McManus could pitch. He's in the outfield, though.
Yeah.
I think Hal McKay throws, doesn't he?
I have a feeling they're looking at one of those guys over the next 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I figured Micah probably is making a start either tomorrow or Thursday.
We'll probably see.
Well, Graham has to be making a league start somewhere in there.
Yeah. Yes.
Maybe against Andrews, I don't know.
Yeah.
Strike on that outer half. He's really giving that outer half right now.
This is Peter Carnazzo.
Yep.
His third at bat of the day, looking for his first hit.
Pulowski winds and fires, and that one in for a strike as well. Continuing to just wear out that outer half.
It does seem like that the strike zone's expanded as the game has
reached.
I would definitely say so.
That outside strike definitely wasn't being called much.
And Carnazzo chops that one softly, and it's going to go foul.
Well, you know, the umpires, they don't get paid by the hour, so.
But we do.
Yeah.
Oh, that's on. Carnazzo smashes that into the gap.
Oh, a nice play there by the left fielder.
Boy, that hung up, huh?
It did. That time the wind worked against them, I believe, because that thing just kind of stayed up longer than I thought. I thought it was hit on more of a line as well.
Isley did a nice job. He wasn't playing all that deep. He had to get on his horse and run after it.
And that coming off the lefty's bat, that was going to come back to him a little bit always, right? So brings up Jonathan Reyes, who is 2 for 2 with an RBI and a run scored.
Including a double in his last at-bat.
Mm-hmm.
Hard hit ball.
Almost had the Oppo Taco.
Did you call that a strike?
I think it was a ball.
Yeah.
He just flashed the fingers, 2-0.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're having some problems with the scoreboard as well, so that's a strike.
Nice.
That's a strike. Breaking ball.
Yep.
Pulowski dropped in there for the first strike. 2-1 now.
Although
on
that
Reyes.
Started breaking early. Looked like it would be easy to pick up.
Ooh. That one in tight. 3-1.
Right, Reyes looking for something that he can handle here. See if he can push the Panthers out in front.
And that one misses for ball 4, so Reyes will draw the walk, and that'll bring up McManus,
who hit an absolute seed that was snared by the diving Drew Pulsifer.
Yeah, just hit it the wrong place.
So Mike is looking for some green grass here.
So 1 out, 1 on in a tie ball game. That one missing badly off the outer half. As the catcher had to go out there and get it, Gillet.
Coming up on the 2-hour mark here at Beverly High School. Got off to a little bit of a late start.
High fly ball.
That
Again,
one's
that's going to be trouble.
skied into a bad spot, but the right fielder looks like he's got a beat on it. He does.
And that hung up there for quite a while.
That was a little deeper than the shallow part that could have been worse. Had a little more carry to it.
So that is 2 outs, and that'll bring up Adam Porcello. Adam had a single base hit and an RBI. The only RBI of last inning, actually.
2 out, 1 on. Porcello looks at one that misses.
Let's see if he tries to get Reyes in scoring position with a steal. Or he
Maybe a little hit and
prefers...
run.
Ground ball snagged by Pulowski, throws to first, and that will end the 5th inning for the Panthers, and on to the 6th, with this game still tied at 6.
Pitch inning for Pulowski brings him up to 15. And whomever, it'll be Teddy Fisher, as you guys predicted.
Yep.
Will be facing the 8, 9, and 1 batters for the Golden Warriors. Nick Isley, is it Chris Trapp or Charles Trapp?
Chris Trapp. Oh, no, it is Charles. You're right. I think it is Charles.
Okay. That's it. Name begins with a C. And
it's a local singer, actually. He's
Jean.
kind of a national act, I guess. Named Chris Trapper.
Oh.
So maybe that's what you were confusing with.
Probably not.
I don't think so, no.
Trying to help you out there, but
I appreciate, though. I appreciate the assist on that.
you know, Al,
It's just because the guy who hits first in the order now is going to be right after him is named Chris.
You know, Al, who's a fan of Chris Trapper, is our friend Tim Kearns, who did the softball game with us.
Ah, yes, Tim,
Probably,
your fellow teacher.
Yeah.
Fellow fisherman.
I haven't checked the comments on that video to see if there are any complaints. But
Wait, does this guy play in Gloucester?
Chris Trapper, no.
Oh, okay.
Played in the area.
Okay.
I actually don't know how big of an act the guy is.
I know. I figured.
But my friend Tim is a fan of Chris Trapper.
And do they still have the bar behind Woodman's that's called the Lobster Trap?
The Lobster Trap, yeah, it's still there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
I've been to Woodman's, I think, twice. Pretty good, though. Swing and a miss.
I've only been there, actually, I think, one time in my life.
But I'm, like, confused. So it was, like, one of the buildings, the actual bar, and then the other one's, like, an event thing? Is that what it is? Swing and a miss. Strike.
3 pitches for Teddy Fisher, who racks up his 3rd strikeout in an inning and a third of work to date.
So, Dom, out front is the restaurant Woodman's, and out back
you have to go
is the function hall,
behind the building.
and then there's the bar downstairs, which is the Lobster Trap.
Okay.
And speaking of trap, here is Charles.
Yeah, here is Charles,
Chris,
who started this entire conversation.
You know, with a name like Trap, you have to be a good defensive player, right?
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, man, that breaking ball just completely had him buckled and bailing.
What do we got?
Oh, what do we got?
Somebody said something.
Someone said something.
Did he call that a strike? Did he just heave him?
It looked like he just gave someone the...
That was the
heave,
calmest.
didn't it?
That was the calmest heave of all time, then, though.
Yeah.
Now,
I mean, the hand signal looked like
you're out
throwing someone out.
Yeah. Usually they point, though, and then they give the, there's a little upward motion to it.
Okay, it might actually be the batter. I don't know.
What's happening? So was
Why
that
would
a
he
called
walk
strike?
towards the dugout, though?
Is that a called strike?
Let's talk to the coach.
I guess.
It looked like a called strike.
Yes. Which I actually thought it was a strike.
Yeah,
with the way the thing moved.
Too. Someone in the dugout, I believe, said something.
That's what I thought.
So he was summoning the coach over to tell him to knock it off. Are they going to be bounced next time?
They may actually be telling someone to leave.
Wow.
Now, that said, I don't know if the umpire knew who said it.
Yeah, how do you know who?
How do you run somebody out?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've seen a coach go into the dugout. It might actually be the first base coach.
No, the third base coach, who's the manager, I believe.
No, I think I see the first base coach in the dugout now.
I thought the guy with the bat and helmet was the third.
Well, both coaches.
Now a kid is coaching third.
Yep, okay. So you are correct.
So the third base coach?
Who's the manager, I believe.
Who's the manager? Just got the heave-ho?
Yeah.
Why are they letting him stay in the dugout?
Yeah, why?
But did we see the first base coach go back out there?
Ground ball over to short. Reyes has it. Up. Throws and got him for the second out of the inning. And we will continue to try and figure out exactly who's been tossed out of this game.
I will say this game has had a lot of stuff happen.
It's had a lot.
Yeah.
It's been everything.
Yeah.
It's had a late start.
Yeah.
It's had a lot of pitchers.
Yes.
It's had a lot of runs scored without RBIs.
Yep.
Yeah, two JV call-ups.
And that's going to drop in for a hit.
Yep. That
would
drops
be-
for Gillet. We had to go to the phone and the contacts
Phone a friend for
Phone-
the pronunciation.
for our pronunciation.
We had one batter, 2-run score with one batter who did not have anything to do with the 2 runs.
Still
Yes.
standing in the box. Came
We-
up
we-
with the
we-
Panthers down a run, and he left the box with the
We had
Panthers
some
up
Little
there.
League base path running.
Yep.
Guys watching balls with 2 outs. Yeah, it's,
We saw a runner score on a balk.
yep.
This has been very. He's going.
Yeah, he is
He got
almost
a
a
huge-
pitch out.
He got a huge jump.
Yeah, he did. No chance really to get Gillet there on that one.
Right. So Napolitano here looking to extend the lead.
It's not tied.
Yeah, it is
Oh, I'm
tied.
sorry, to take
Ground
the lead.
ball, that's going to get
And
into center
he's
field,
gonna-
and that is going to give the
Take the
Golden
lead.
Warriors the lead. Napolitano with a 2-out RBI single back up the middle into center field, and Andover has taken the lead for the, I guess, 3rd time. First inning, right?
Yep.
Technically, they were up
Right.
first. Then they took that
Yep.
5-3 lead, and
Yep.
then, so for the 3rd time, the Golden Warriors will take the lead. So we've had plenty of lead changes as
Oh,
well.
got him.
Hey, he picked him off.
Nice pick. Beautiful
Got him.
pickoff. Not bad for a catcher.
Not bad at all. So at least that will limit any more of the damage. But the Golden Warriors do take the lead 7-6 as we go to the bottom of the 6th now. Is that the second guy we've seen picked off?
One we got at second base. We got a guy picked off at second
Yeah,
base
so that's the
earlier.
second one we've seen
Yep,
picked off
yep.
as well.
So we had 2 pickoffs too, right? Man, this game's had a lot.
I'm going to be exhausted by the end of it.
I tell you, one more thing I would like to see
A
is
win.
one in the left-hand column for the good guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be.
This is the same pitcher, Dom? 14?
I will tell you when he winds and fires. I'm pretty sure that is him, yeah, Pulowski.
Pulaski, okay. He had Teddy with only 9 pitches that inning. Might have missed one.
Well, you know, for giving up a run, he pitched pretty well, actually, and retired
Right.
Isley on just 3 pitches when he
Yep,
struck him
sure.
out. So I don't think he threw a lot of pitches. So I
Yeah,
don't.
he has 3 strikeouts to his credit. Has given up 2 runs.
Mhm.
Has not walked anybody. He's picked somebody off. Given up a couple hits.
Yeah.
Very credible performance. And now needs a little bit of help from the bats, and he'll have an opportunity to help himself. He'll be the 4th batter this inning. The Panthers have worked themselves back around to the top of the order with Danny Pierce leading off. Danny walked in the 1st inning and scored a run, had a base hit in the 2nd, and then went down by the way of the strikeout in the 4th. Followed by Cal McKay, who's been all over the baseball today. Double 2 runs scored and an intentional walk to his credit. And then Colby McLean, the DH, who had a base hit his last at bat. So guys who are certainly capable and have been getting on in this game are in the spot where they need to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
So the Panthers have used 4 pitchers today. This is only the 2nd pitcher that we've seen with Haley here. No. Wrong. Pulaski, I'm sorry. Haley's one of the Beverly pitchers.
I think that was a ball inside, I think.
Could have been.
I hope it was. Let's get up to the middle. Get through.
No, shortstop has it, throws him out.
The
Nice
grass
little
just
play.
slowed it down.
I know, it did.
Great mechanics by the Andover shortstop. Got his body moving towards first base as he gobbled that up. A very nice job by Stephen Lembo over there.
All right, so Cal McKay, as you said, Al, he scored 2 runs today. Hoping to be the tying run here somehow.
I feel like the wind is starting to change again and is at our back. So maybe if he gets one up in the jet stream, he'll tie it with one swinger.
Instead, on the ground over to Pulsifer, who has it, gathers, and throws him out.
It's good hustle down the line there by Cal.
That's a hard
Made
90
it a
right
tough
there.
play, yeah.
What's a hard?
Looked like it was being a nice routine play, but he had to hurry up with that. I know Coach Jeff Hutton likes to see that speed.
He can move.
Cal's
Cal.
going to be a big part of the football
Yeah,
season.
he had a great year this year. And
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, that's
McLean, that's a fair ball
could
down
be-
that third base line.
only gonna be
Left
one
fielder
out.
going over. Colby's going to have to stay right there at first, but it's a 2-out knock for McLean, and it leaves the inning alive here for the Panthers.
I think I might have saw something over the winter that Cal was part of a relay team that set
Yeah.
a school record.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah, he
is
was.
that right?
Yep. A school record that had lasted for a very long time, like 40 years or something.
All right. As I said earlier, Teddy Fisher would get an opportunity to help himself,
go.
and here he is.
All right, so we got McLean on first. Ducked under it.
Yeah, ducked under a breaking ball.
Almost ducked into it.
Ooh, we got an exciting race happening here. We got all kinds of cheering
This is a
going
big
on.
relay. Relay is usually the last race,
Yeah.
so maybe it's going to make a determination on who wins the meet.
I believe he called that a ball.
And all the kids not running are following the race.
Getting
on the
ready for
infield.
the,
I
is this
know.
the anchor
Yeah,
leg?
you gotta switch over.
I'm being distracted. I got to go back to baseball. Let's go,
Pulaski
Bev.
winds, fires.
He's going.
There he goes
McLean.
for second on a delayed
Safe.
steal, and he's safe.
Looked like the ball was there. But
Wow, he
I
did
know.
indeed.
Just did not get the tag in.
And it looks like Swampscott's going to win that race.
And Colby McLean looked like he might have been. It didn't look promising, by the way, on that steal.
I know.
Yeah,
In the end, he's somehow in.
But now you got the tying run at second base.
See if Teddy Fisher can deliver with 2 outs.
That one's not even close, and what a job by the catcher, Jolet, to get up there and get it.
That's some good ups right
Yeah.
there.
Jeez. Almost like he was doing a vertical for the NFL Combine. Jeez.
Out of a full crouch.
Oh, and a front
Bender.
door breaking ball.
Speaking of that combine, did you happen to see that one player from Florida who weighs over 400 pounds?
No.
460 pounds or something like
Wow.
that. Massive, massive individual. Didn't get drafted, but signed with somebody as a free agent.
Okay.
They call him, I forget what they said, the tush push killer or something along those lines. He had a 25-inch vertical leap. You laugh.
That's amazing.
Well,
No, I know. I'm laughing.
460
I'm laughing just thinking about a 465-pound man still being able to jump
Yeah.
25.
Yeah.
2 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
And there's usually a correlation with 40 speed and a vertical. I wonder what his 40 was.
I can't remember what
I
it was.
bet you
I
they
did
even-
see it. It actually was
was
pretty
like
good.
around 5 probably.
Yeah, for a guy that size, it was actually pretty good.
You know, I've never understood why they make.
John Reyes.
Oh, he's a defensive lineman, though. right?
Defensive
Okay.
lineman,
All right. I understand why you have a defensive lineman run the 40
Yeah.
then.
Offensive lineman, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going
Really?
7 yards tops. you
Yeah,
know?
I really do not care about any offensive linemen's.
Yeah.
We are going to be seeing Jonathan Reyes
Yes.
pitching the 7th for the Panthers, as we talked about. He has been coming in late in some ball games, which will mean that Danny Pierce will be the shortstop, and the second baseman is...
He throws like Burke Badenhoff.
All right, so here's the question, right? Fisher not on the mound now.
Is he at
And
third base?
I think Connolly's still, I can't tell. Actually, it does look like
It looks like Mike O'Leary's at second base. Fisher is
Yeah,
still
Fisher's
at third.
third. Is
I think-
Connolly out of the game?
So who's catching? Is it still
I
Jonah?
think it's still Bellew, yeah. So Connolly.
So the question
comes
is
out
who does O'Leary hit for?
You know what? I wonder if Connolly came out because of that ankle, that ball off his
Yes,
ankle.
that would be right. He's not in the game. So
Okay.
O'Leary for Connolly. I am guessing in the batting order, which could put him up, right?
Yeah, that would put him up.
We make him a lead
to
off.
lead off, yeah.
So let's see if that is correct. I do believe that is number 3, Mike O'Leary at second base. John Ray is on the mound trying to keep it a one-run ball game, and he will face Will Norris, the center fielder.
Norris has 2 hits.
And got hit.
And he hit him.
Okay.
So first pitch from Reyes comes in and just nips Will Norris.
Will, living by the motto, hit or be hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a double, a single, a sac fly.
Comes the
Run
cleanup
score,
hitter
RBI.
and the catcher, Ryan Gillet. And he's going.
Square.
There he goes, and not able to field it cleanly, so Norris is in the second without even a throw.
I don't know if he's going to get him if even he...
I know, he got quite the jump.
Oh.
So Andover back in business right away again, trying to make it a 2-score game. Line drive into center field. That's
not
going
gonna
to
get
drop in. And
They're
Will
gonna
Norris
send the
on his
runner.
horse.
The throw.
The throw is very far away on the first base side, and did not take long for Andover to add some insurance onto their lead now, up 8-6. Hit by a pitch, a steal of second, and then an RBI knock from Gillet.
Is he going to get a runner for Gillet? He's the catcher.
Yeah.
Although I will say, Gillet looks like a kid who could probably run a little.
Oh, he can run.
But, speed the game up a little bit.
Yes, it has been a long afternoon here.
Yes, it has.
So we're going to see number 9. Let's see who that is. Max Dyer?
Nearly 7 o'clock now.
I don't know, based on, again, the coach's handwriting is not stellar, so I don't know if it's Dyer or Dior.
Christian?
That's what I was thinking. Unless it's Dyer.
That one back
Gets
to the
away.
backstop, and Dyer will get over the third. What's the number again on the runner?
Nine, number
Yeah,
9.
that's Dyer.
Dyer.
That is Dyer.
Strike called. We heard that one.
Yeah.
That's the first clear strike that we've been able to see. Need a fungo for that one.
We've had 2 ground rule doubles, 2 balks,
Mm-hmm.
and
Two guys picked off,
and 1 ejection.
and 1 ejection.
And several walks. A couple hit batsmen.
And that is a walk for Berman. So we get, what do we got here? What's he running? Oh, what was that? The first base
I
coach?
think that's the first base coach. I love the
He
enthusiasm.
must need to get a bat.
So what I don't understand now, both base coaches were coaches before the ejection.
I didn't see who the first base coach was.
Before the ejection, I believe. So now,
So both base coaches, the first base coach was an adult as well?
I believe it was.
Okay. I don't recall.
Had him leaning, too.
He did have him leaning.
Could have had him if they actually thought they had a chance on him. I think it was one of those things. It's just a decoy, but...
So this is Drew Pulsifer, the second baseman. Drew has grounded a short, has 2 hits and a run scored.
Yeah.
2 for 3.
And
his work at the plate
stellar
is
game.
not exactly the shining star moment for him on the day, because this would be a very different ball game without his glove, potentially.
Absolutely.
And that's saying something when you're 2 for 3 with a run scored.
I know, right?
And everybody's talking about your defense. You can't get
Goes
that
to lay
one
down
wrong.
the bunt. But, I mean, he really, looking back on it, he could have saved maybe 3 runs today.
Yeah,
Especially
the ball in
that
the
play
first-
on McManus.
Well, the ball in the first inning that he made on Porcello, that
Yep.
would have been 2 runs.
Yes,
Yep,
it would have.
Yep.
And then, like you say, another one, so that's at least 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's the stat on that? About the range, defensive range.
Defensive. Well, there's also defensive run saves. isn't
Yeah,
there?
yeah. Something with a Z or something.
Oh yeah, I don't know about
UZ
that.
or something. I don't know.
And he slashes that one in the opposite side under the glove of the first
3
baseman.
hits for Pulsifer.
And it is going to be 9-6 Golden Warriors in front now as Pulsifer continues on his big afternoon. A run scored, an RBI, and a couple of great defensive plays made to save runs.
Still no outs in the Andover 7th inning.
Mm-hmm.
And runners on the corners again for Steven Lembo, the shortstop, who's been hit by a pitch, reached on an error, and has struck out.
Pops
With
up
a
the bunt
suicide
attempt. The
square.
first baseman, Reyes.
And that's going to drop for
For
a
hit
hit.
on the suicide squeeze.
The suicide squeeze, and Reyes laid out to try to make the catch. He could not.
That goes as a base hit, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was giving himself up, but he ends up with a hit. And a tough 7th inning for the Panthers continue.
Yep.
As Andover has really extended the lead here to 4 runs, and the Panthers still looking for their first out in the inning.
Is Fisher coming back into the game?
Can you
as,
do
as
that?
the pitcher? He didn't leave the field.
Oh, I guess
So
you
he
can.
can come back as a pitcher.
All right. Well, we talked about with all the games coming up, if there was someone to burn, that's probably going to be
Yeah.
Fisher. And with Reyes not getting an out here in the 7th, they need him for the next 2 days, at least for one of them. So they will go back to Teddy.
No warm-up pitches?
Probably not.
So I'm
It's
gonna
going to be in the game.
I'm gonna go a little Tommy Donovan here. Not quite 20 years ago, state tournament game. Dylan Mackey threw 173 pitches in a game, and at one point he came out of the game, but he as a pitcher, but went to shortstop. Someone came in, got out of the inning. Mackey came back into the game. He had thrown 130 something pitches at the point that he left. So he came back in, threw another 40 pitches. And then he
Wow.
had shoulder surgery the following
Did he? Did he?
during the offseason, yeah.
And he had shoulder surgery between innings.
Yeah. Pitched at Northeastern. Actually works with our friend who was visiting earlier, Tony Pascarosa.
Oh, really?
Yeah. All right, so this is Isley. Right?
Yeah.
Up at bat.
Yeah, that was
Or
Lamb.
actually, that's number 4 up at bat.
So they have someone pinch hit for Isley.
Yeah.
So that would be Dever.
Okay. So are you responding to Tommy?
Yeah.
So Tommy texted us and said,
Who won?
Who won? And we're like, they're still playing. Now, if this game was, a few weeks ago, it would have been called for darkness.
Yes.
But, it's still somewhat light out.
Oh, yeah.
So we got bases loaded. No outs.
Rich, if this happens tomorrow, you might be finishing the game by yourself.
I know, right?
Yeah. You will be. This is too late.
Beth will have to put the camera on
I
autopilot
know,
and
yeah.
join you in the
join
booth.
the game. And he struck him out.
Yeah, swing and a miss, and that's the first out of the inning.
I easily with the strikeout.
Beth, I'm just wondering, can you hear us while it's going on? Can you hear Rich? You can.
She has selective hearing,
I'm
though.
sorry to hear that.
So she's hearing what you guys are saying
But
and
not you.
listening.
That's
She's
what
listening to what you guys are saying.
That's what I was asking.
It's
actually.
just noise, yeah. It's just background noise.
So Chris Trapp, the man at the plate now. With first and second and one out.
All right, so I stopped tracking the pitches because
10-6 the
Fisher
score,
came
and
back.
Andover trying to
I got him.
tack on even more.
Ground
Hard
ball,
ground
Pierce
ball
got-
over to second.
wasn't
Pierce has it,
right.
flips
Okay.
Isn't
to
that only
second.
2 outs?
That's only
That's
two
only
outs.
2 outs.
Yeah,
Lost
that's only
track of the outs.
Yep. Run scores.
Never tried for the double play, which would have avoided that run scoring if they were able to turn it. So
Yeah.
that was a RBI on a fielder's choice for Trapp.
11-6.
And Pulsifer scored.
Yes.
So back to the top of the lineup now
Lembo went out 4-6 in
in
second
Chris
base.
Gillet.
So we got first and third here.
And that one is laced into center
Yeah,
field,
this makes the
but it's
play.
right at Micah pretty much, and that will do it in the inning. But Andover, in a game that has been back and forth and close all day, sort of breaks it open in the seventh and onto the bottom part of the inning, 11-6, the Golden Warriors in front. This is baseball. When things aren't going your way, things seem to snowball, and the bats certainly came to life a bit better today for Beverly, but unfortunately they were facing an opponent that, was able to hit pretty much all season long and tacked on plenty of runs here today.
Yeah. Now, the Panthers have put together a couple of big innings, and, all their runs came off of 2 innings, with 2 innings in between of not much happening. So if we look at the pattern in the scorebook,
Yes.
they went 2 innings without scoring, then they scored a bunch, then they have gone another 2 innings without scoring, and so
That is an excellent Rain Man analysis.
Pulowski still on the bump. Andover has used just 2 guys.
I'm just looking at the book, Al.
Rich, you always,
These teams,
you've always been a big pattern guy.
I am quite the pattern guy.
so these 2 teams facing similar situations have attacked it in different ways. Andover using Owen Core, who we believe was a call-up potentially, sort of just stuck with him to the very end for a long period, even though he had a very rough first inning where he threw a lot of pitches and did settle down after that. But then in his last inning of work, they stuck with him for a while too, even though he was struggling. And I've just pretty much gave the ball to Pulowski the rest of the way. Whereas Beverly's solution has been to use just about anyone and everyone. And then in the end, bring Fisher back in the 7th in order to preserve Reyes for availability in the next 2 games.
I mean, officially speaking, Teddy threw 3 innings.
Yeah,
Because he was credited with all 3 outs in the 7th. So.
he was.
Al, I'm also an excellent driver. Connor Connolly back into the game.
So
Swing on a foul tip.
So Connor must re-enter for O'Leary.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And so when the Panthers tie it, Connor will have to play in the field.
Yeah. Which, if Fisher continues to pitch, Connor will be at third anyway.
Connor is going to do his best to aid in erasing part of the Andover lead with his new bat.
Ground ball over to third. Third baseman has it. Throws a strong throw from Berman and got him.
So it looks like the track meet is all over. I'm sure at some point we may see Coach Dunleavy, and maybe he'll give us a little rundown on what happened.
Peter Cornazzo coming up, looking for his first safety of the afternoon.
Hit the ball well his last at-bat.
He sure did. Nice play made by the left fielder.
Yeah.
The lights are coming on. There must be an evening event on the turf.
I think the lights just come on automatically.
Every day?
I believe so.
Really?
Unless maybe there is going to be a lacrosse. Well, it looks like there's a lacrosse practice going on.
Okay. Makes sense. That was one of the things that was going to be a bonus, was they could have practices. A lot of times practices would get cut due to daylight. So today would certainly be one of them with the track meet that takes a few hours for that to happen.
Expect to see a lot of night games, which we've already seen. They've already played plenty of night games during the spring season.
Fall?
And then in the fall season, we'll probably see quite a few soccer matches.
Yeah, we did one
and some
at night,
field hockey.
I think.
Yeah. Still waiting to find out what the situation with football is going to be.
Whether they're going to play here under the lights or not.
Swung on, ground ball over to short.
Nice play by Lundgren.
Throws and got him. This Andover team plays very crisp defense. Now, Drew has been on a level all on his own, but
the left
they
side,
have looked smooth.
left side's been super solid.
Yeah,
Basement,
they just
shortstop.
look smooth.
Yeah,
Their mechanics are good. They approach the ball. They throw very well.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Don.
Yeah, they do. They throw really well. Good strong arms over on that left side.
All right, Jonathan Reyes, the last man now for the Panthers.
Hoping to not be the last man, though.
Yes.
Jay Ray's 3 for 3 today with a run scored and an RBI. Panthers down to their last out in a long afternoon here in Beverly.
Yeah, this game was supposed to start at 4:15.
I think it started
4:40.
10 of 5, 4:47. I think I looked at.
Okay. So coming up on 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Again, Andover coming from quite a ways away. Generally, when they've come down here, the games haven't started on time.
Yeah, somebody was telling me that they have to do all their runs to drop kids off after school, and then those buses then have to come back to the school to bring them here. So
Slashed foul the opposite way.
Just think, Al, if they had added lights on the baseball field at the same time as the multi-purpose field, we'd be having night games at Brother Roberts Field.
that would be something.
Of course, night games on this field at this time of year,
Yeah.
you try not to have too many of those. Ooh, walked.
And a breaking ball misses, ball 4.
And,
So it's a 2-out walk.
Reyes continues his perfect on-base percentage for the afternoon.
And Reyes made sure he wasn't the last guy.
Yeah.
Micah McMahon is hoping to not be the last guy.
Micah, one of the co-captains here at Beverly High School, reached on a walk in the first inning. 0 for 2 officially.
Ground ball over to first. The first baseman has it. Just 2 steps over. He'll step on the bag, and that will do it. Andover takes this one in what was a crazy back-and-forth game most of the way. We saw a little bit of everything out, but then they break it open late in the 7th and end up winning it 11-6 over the Panthers. The bats on the positive side did come to life a bit for the Panthers. The offense has been part of the problem, but with the way things go in baseball, when the bats come alive, then the pitching doesn't quite do it, and when you're on a losing streak, and unfortunately the Panthers not able to snap that skid.
Yeah, you're certainly right about the bats being better, and I'm not going to say this is going to be their hardest game of the week, but on paper, the strongest opponent that they were going to face, non-league game, which probably had something to do with why we saw so many guys pitching today.
Yes.
But they're just going to have to look at the positive side that they hung a crooked number a couple times today. They got some nice pitching from Teddy, and nice job by Maverick at the beginning. And they have something that they need to build on, get back to the league tomorrow, and see if they can pick up a league win tomorrow against Saugus, and then go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andover comes in, number 15. Beverly taking on a tough team like that, hung with them most of the game. Hit the ball pretty hard, and a couple of really nice plays out there by Andover, and that's kind of the difference that we see.
Outstanding defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. So that will do it for all of us here, Dominic Lorenzano, Al Visnick, and Rich Francis. Guys, we will be back here tomorrow, and then they will be doing a game Thursday as well. So back-to-back-to-back Panther baseball for you. But again, 11-6, the final here. The Panthers take it and have a great rest of your afternoon, night really at this point.
Good night.
All right, we'll see you later.